Hey, everybody, I'm the Oh my God, I blew the opening. Let's try that again. Hey, everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and with me, as always, is Scribe. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
And it's just the two of us tonight. We had talked about having a guest. We may have one later, but for now, it's just going to be the two of us. Are you laughing
So
at?
it's me and Money alone together.
Did I do it again?
Yeah, you did. Leave it. Leave it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Guess what, everybody? It's me and Money. So Monkey's not really here. It's whatever you decide to put through that $ button at the bottom of the chat tonight.
It's the Scribe and Money Show, part 2.
Yeah, all right.
Fuck.
No, it's fine. It's like a tradition now.
Yeah, apparently it is.
Yeah.
I guess the big story is still us bombing the shit out of Syria. Do you want to go over some news stories first?
Aside from that,
I meant the news reaction you were talking about.
Oh, right. Yeah. So I looked up what the international reaction was. So, and somebody in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong on this. So, in the course of this 6-year-long civil war in Syria, there have been several attempts by the UN to pass some kind of resolution to censure or restrict or punish Syria for not only their actions against the rebels in general, but also for the chemical attacks that have been attributed to the government. And as I understand it, at every turn, Russia has used its veto power on any UN resolutions to that end, which is obviously a bit of a conflict of interest.
No,
not at all. And so consequently, there were a lot of countries that wanted to see something done in Syria. And so after last night's activities, this is the current report on how people are reacting. Let's see if I can find that one part. Iran, which also, and this is from The Atlantic. Let's see. Iran, which also supports Assad and whose fighters are in Syria, condemned the strikes, as well as calling them unilateral, adding such measures will strengthen terrorists in Syria and will complicate the situation in Syria and the region. Let's see, going down. In Brussels, Jens Stoltenberg, the NATO Secretary General, said the Assad regime bears the full responsibility for this development. He said he was informed by General James Mattis, the U.S. Defense Secretary, of the impending strike. Turkey, which has been a longtime advocate of military action in Syria, urged the establishment of a no-fly zone to create Syrian safe zones for civilians. That call came from Ibrahim Kalin, a spokesman for President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, which of course is Erdogan's such a great guy too. The UK government, which in the past has been the most stalwart US ally in the military operations overseas, says it fully supports the strike. In a joint statement, German Chancellor Angela Merkel and French President Francois Hollande echoed the NATO chief's remarks that Assad alone bears responsibility for this development. Saudi Arabia called the decision courageous, while China, whose president met with Trump on Thursday evening, urged calm. Quote, what is urgent now is to avoid further deterioration of the situation. Let's see. And I also recall from a different article that Japan was fully behind it as well.
Yeah, I saw, I heard Turkey was good with it. Last night I saw Turkey and the UK were fine. You kind of expected the UK.
Yeah.
But let's be real, we're gonna back each other no matter. But I am glad to see that there's so much support, but it does worry me that it was still seems like it was a unilateral action.
Yeah, this is so setting aside all the hyperbole of last night when we were right in the thick of it, I've been thinking about this most of the day, and we kind of mentioned this last night. On a moral level, and given the way that Russia was stonewalling anything to be done that might have prevented another chemical attack or something else, well, I was
going to say, it was supposed to be prevented by the 2013 agreement. Right. Assad's not even supposed to have this shit because Russia was supposed to help get rid of it.
Right. But yeah, they didn't.
Yeah.
So while I can understand the desire to do this on not only a moral level, but also on sort of internal security level, etc., I'm still concerned with the fact that here's the thing. By doing this, by taking a unilateral action that wasn't, as far as we know, it wasn't backed actively by other countries. Trump just decided to do it.
Hmm.
Um, then what Trump has said effectively is that the UN is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Now, I understand why he says that. And I'm talking in the broad sort of philosophical strokes of these events. I understand why he says that because Russia was able to prevent the rest of the world, for the most part, from taking actions against Syria by their veto in the UN. However, if you're going to do this, then either we have to get rid of the UN because it's useless, or this has to be the point at which the UN reforms its rules so that one nation cannot veto everybody else's opinion. Now, that would be taking same power away from the US and every other core country in the UN.
Hmm.
But somebody has to make a call here, because if the precedent is country X does not agree with what sovereign country Y is doing, therefore it's okay to strike them. And I'm taking away all the chemical weapon stuff. I'm just saying, like, once you go down this path, it's a very quickly slippery slope as to justification. So I
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
what needs to happen, in my opinion, is okay. Trump did what the rest of the world wanted to do to some extent, but which Russia was alone preventing. Fine, okay. Go back to the UN and change the rules so this doesn't happen the same way again. Otherwise, the UN should be
We won't
dismantled.
do that though. We
No,
won't
no,
do that
of
because
course we won't.
no, no.
Of course we won't.
The reason for the people in chat, one of the biggest reasons we won't do that is because we use that same veto power repeatedly for Israel.
Yes, exactly.
And we're not giving that up. I
No.
don't disagree with what you're saying. Just never going to happen that way.
No, I know this is what I'm talking about. This isn't something that I think would happen. This is what I think is the only logical thing to do given what has happened. But of course, it won't, because that's not how things work. So then we are in this really strange territory of, we have a United Nations, which is supposed to be the thing that we agreed to join and helped build to address situations like this, that is now impotent to stop situations like this. And we are
Mhm.
now superseding that organization to make decisions based on our own sense of moral justice, or to enforce international law by ourselves. And it's just such a, yeah, it's just a gobbledygook kind of situation to be in. And again, sets a precedent that I'm not all that jazzed about seeing where it goes. Now, this is not dissimilar to Bush effectively attacking Iraq unilaterally when they hadn't done anything to threaten our national security. Arguments could be made. Yeah, sorry.
I'm going to disagree there slightly, because Syria literally didn't attack us at all. And
Yes.
Iraq was attacking our warplanes. They never hit any of them. But over the course of the no-fly zone, they did fire at our planes repeatedly. So there's a tiny little bit more justification for Iraq.
A
In this
tiny
case,
bit.
there's literally no aggression towards us.
Right. Now the Iraq thing is a bit more nebulous. However, the initiating reason for going in was 9/11.
Right. We didn't do it
as
based on that.
Yeah, because there were things going on in Iraq before 9/11 that, if that was the justification, we should have gone in 6 months before 9/11 happened, but we didn't. So yeah, but anyway, so this is the second time now in my lifetime that the president of the United States has effectively unilaterally attacked a sovereign nation under just their whim, essentially, because they chose to do it.
Yeah.
Without any oversight, without getting any permission. Now, granted, before going into Iraq, there was a lead up. I will give you that. You did go to you did go to Congress, United Nations, and everything else. There was at least that. So credit where credit is due, for however much you want to give it. He went through the process. Trump didn't.
And with this, I mean, this was just, again, I don't necessarily disagree with blowing up a air base where they're launching chemical weapons from. Fine. But I'm still stuck on unilateral was not the way to go. If the world wanted this to happen, why not take a day and get everybody on board? Even knowing it's not going to go through in the UN, fine. Get your NATO allies involved with it as well. Don't just do it ourselves. Real quick, I want to introduce everybody. This is the first time Bloodwing has been on the stream with us. Are you there, Blood?
Hey, everybody, SDA here. No, maybe. Good,
What
I can take
happened to
these
you? Jesus.
I can take these heels off then because they're pinching the crap out of my toes.
I was about to say, how much tequila did you drink to get that voice?
Yeah, how many packs of Marlboros, huh?
For those of you wondering why there's an old man in SDA's place, SDA's out of town right now. She's going to be at a conference tomorrow. No, what's today? Today's Friday. Yeah, she'll be at a conference tomorrow. So she's getting pampered on some college's dime while we do the hard work here.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to this, I've seen a lot of people talk about how this has been a change in Donald Trump's position, and that part is true. If you go back to his statements in 2013, he was saying we shouldn't be involved in Syria at all. But I've seen people go as far to say this is, actually is the next Iraq. This is Trump changing his view on globalism. Suddenly he's going to start pushing U.S. policy all over the place. I don't think that's necessarily the case either. This very well could be for Trump just a one-off. It could for him be entirely about the use of chemical weapons, being the president of the United States and saying we can't stand for that. This doesn't mean we're going to be invading Syria or starting a war over there, putting boots on the ground. So those comments need to probably be pulled back a little bit. Relax, folks. I don't like how he did this, but this is not the same as going to war with Syria. It could be, but it's not.
Yeah, maybe I'm overly cautious, but I'm the type that I kind of sit back. I still don't feel we have enough information yet, because there's a whole lot going on behind the scenes we don't know. Has to be, but I just don't know. I get the feeling this is a one-off. That's just my feeling on it.
I think, especially Tillman at State really, really wants this to be more than that. I just don't think Trump wants it to be at this point. I've seen nothing to suggest that he's willing to go to war over this. Other than, of course, firing missiles at somebody.
Well, and in today's age, firing a few missiles, and I don't mean to downplay it any, but firing a few missiles doesn't make a war. I mean, look at how many drones we sent into Pakistan, and we're not at war with them.
True. The difference here is we actually hit a state target on purpose.
Yeah.
That's true.
We can't even say, oops, we accidentally hit that.
This was a surgical military strike. This wasn't some kind of we were bombing a terrorist house or something. This is government property and government location and a military base. There's no gray area here as to exactly what we were doing and why we were doing it.
Better read than dead said, it seems like Trump just wanted to show his balls to someone. I kind of agree with that, and I also think that this gave him a way to distance himself from Putin. I don't think that played a major role in why he did it. I think it just presented those opportunities as well.
You know what else is funny that I thought about today, too? We were talking last night how just hours before this happened, Hillary Clinton was giving a talk where she's recommended that this is exactly what should be done. No. Wait,
I want to clarify that because this is not what she recommended be done. She recommended this plus hitting other Syrian bases.
Yes.
So this and more. But,
well, no, I understand. I understand. But she did recommend that we strike the air bases or air base in Syria. Mm-hmm. So now the question is, and I don't know if anybody's asked her this yet, so she fully supports Donald Trump in this action, right? Because the thing was is that she was sort of using this as a differential between her and Trump. Mm-hmm. And then she says this is the kind of action that should take place. Trump does it, and then Schumer supports it.
Yeah,
Schumer's comments last night, and I thought that was really odd. And then I thought, wait a second, he can't not support it because that's the horse he was backing all the way up through the election and beyond. Oh, hey, thanks, Point.
Oh, thank you, Point.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
If you were president, would you accidentally, I'm guessing, bomb Syria, the whole thing? This might have been one of those times I whoopsed, but no, I would have gone to our allies and said, look, something has to be done. We have to do something here because Russia obviously hasn't been able to do it. I think insulting Russia directly in the media is probably a bad idea.
Yeah, that was really weird.
That was stupid is what that was. Jesus. I get trying to distance yourselves, guys, but let's not accuse them of war crimes, for fuck's sake.
Well, not without proof. I mean, if there's any administration right now that should be really careful about making accusations of other countries without some kind of hard evidence, it's probably Trump's.
Yeah. I saw somebody, I can't remember where it was. I think it was on Twitter, saying that all Trump supporters need to go out and sign up for the draft now, or sign up for the military now. And it's like, well, if you believe that, and this is why I wanted to point out the distinction of Hillary actually called for more than this action. If you think Trump supporters should go sign up and you supported Hillary, then you should be going to sign up too, because she wanted to bomb many air bases in Syria.
Yeah.
She was talking about basically taking out their air capability altogether, which, again, not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not something we should be doing all by ourselves. I mean, either we need to fight a war or not, and we need to make that decision. And for me, I'm on the not side.
Well, I mean,
fight that shit out.
Who knows what's going to happen in the next week? Right now, it seems like a one-off. It seems like an isolated incident. Mm-hmm. It's obviously damaged our relationship with Russia, and Russia was one of the people who was supposed to help us fight ISIS in that part of the world. Now that's kind of pretty much gone up in smoke. That air base, whatever other evils it was doing, it was also a staging ground for fighting ISIS in that region. And with the air base gone, ISIS now has more of an advantage today than they did yesterday. There's a lot of moving parts to this, and it wasn't. There's not all good stuff coming out of it, even if a bunch of countries agree with it.
I am surprised and a little encouraged by the different reaction here in the U.S. from both Trump supporters and Trump detractors, because I've seen people who were ardent supporters of Trump going, no, this is horrible, and actually questioning their president and their horse, which is a beautiful thing to see. If you don't agree with something your candidate did, by all means, speak the fuck up.
Yeah. And
I have seen people I know were Hillary supporters who are going, you know what, I don't like the guy, but I agree with what he did here.
Right.
It's nice to see at least some objectivity going on there.
Yeah, it's not all partisanship. It's like, well, Trump did something, so therefore it's bad. I mean, it's such a weird place to be too, because this is so diametrically opposed to what he said he was going to do during the campaign. When he did everything he said he would do during the campaign, it's all evil. As soon as he backs around on it, oh, well, now we're in sort of a gray area. Like, I don't know what to think about this. Interesting.
Well,
yeah, it's good to see the nonpartisan. I've seen it too, Monkey.
I've definitely seen some of the partisanship as well, but I don't remember a time in recent memory where I've seen so much nonpartisanship going on as well. Just people talking about the issue as they see it rather than the person who did it.
Yeah.
I did not see Paul Joseph Watson's video, and I heard he was pissed off about this, but I haven't watched it. Sorry, somebody in chat asked that. Do we have anything else to say about Syria right now? Anything else we need to touch on? I mean, we talked about this for about 2 hours last night, and then I spent another 5 hours making my video and just staying up on the news. I couldn't get this shit out of my head last night because who expected this?
Yeah. I mean, it's just so weird because I remember I was doing a similar activity several years ago. I was on you were
bombing Syrians?
No, I was on a chat call with other people. And
gotcha.
when all of a sudden the news came in that something big had just happened and Obama was about to make a speech. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Oh God, is it another terrorist attack, whatever else? No, we killed Osama bin Laden. And it was just, and it was happening, and it was an unfolding real time as I'm having this call with these other people. And it's so, thanks, Serenity.
Thank you, Serenity Lotus.
Fire Kushner DMCA safe harbor ruling came out today to have negative implications for YouTube. The Fifth Element returning to theaters in 4K. That last part I'm happy about. I don't know about that other stuff. Fire Kushner. Nerdwriter put out a really interesting video covering all about Jared Kushner and his background and his involvement with the government and everything else. It's very, very interesting. I posted it on Twitter, but if you guys look up Nerdwriter, he usually does stuff on like movies and stuff, but he did this one on Jared Kushner. Is interesting. And I lost my place of where I was going with whatever I was saying before. So never mind.
Who is Kushner?
Jared Kushner is Trump's son-in-law, married to Ivanka. And
gotcha.
He's like,
okay.
He's like his closest advisor, and the information that Nerdwriter puts out there of what's publicly known about him, he's exceedingly mysterious as far as his political leanings or his desires or his purpose and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's like he's, I mean, I don't want to say he's like Tom Hagen, the consigliere, but he almost seems like it based on what we know about him so far.
Right. Yeah, I'm not up on any of those things, and I was not the biggest Fifth Element fan.
What?
We'll get to
What?
You hush. We'll get to movies, I'm sure, later on.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. I got to play my role. What's the Fifth Element?
There you go. Good job. Good
Well
job. You are filling SDA's space very well.
I'm trying.
Innuendo. Anyway. Let's see. If we don't want to talk about Syria anymore, I do have a funny article or a funny little event that happened today.
There was one more thing I wanted to say about
sure.
Syria before we move on. It's actually more about Donald Trump and his reaction to this. Yes, we have his statements for what he, planned to do coming into the White House, but this is something people really do have to understand about presidents. It's really easy on the campaign trail to say whatever you want to say. You can make whatever promise you want. You can lay out your foreign policy strategy. And once you're in that chair, all bets are off. That's not a reason for them to completely ignore what they said they would try to do. They still need to live up to that. It's not right for them to just go out there and say whatever they want.
Yeah.
But this is a world when the presidency, when Donald Trump took it over, as far as the world was concerned, as far as the world had been told, Syria no longer even had these weapons. This was not even a possibility.
Right.
When he made his statements in 2013, I don't remember if it was right before or right after, but the agreement reached between the U.S., Russia, and Syria was that same year, getting rid of all of Russia, or supposedly getting rid of all of Syria's chemical weapons. So it was very easy for Donald Trump to take the absolutely isolationist view on it and say, no, we won't be involved really at all over there. But as soon as those chemical weapons were used, the game did change some. That's not excusing him. It's just something to think about when you're thinking about this. Thank you, Point Curation. Did you see the
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
So
no, I did not.
Yeah.
Okay, you had another story. I just wanted to put that out there.
So I had an interesting story also again from Hillary Clinton. Today she listed off the 5 real reasons she lost the White House. And surprise, surprise, none of them have to do with her or her campaign.
Sorry.
I would figure.
Let's see, where was it? Let me find it real quick. Sorry. I lost the link. Keep talking a second. Oh, there it is. Never mind. I found it. Sorry. I'm just a goofball today. Let's see. She largely cited these factors for her defeat. Russia, quote, a foreign power meddled with our election, she said, labeling it an act of aggression. She also called for an independent, bipartisan investigation into the Kremlin's involvement and said the probe should examine whether there was collusion with the Trump campaign.
Okay, time out. Even if it's true, even if you want to say Russia was involved there, the emails were still yours, bitch. The stuff that got you in trouble, you did. You're basically complaining because a foreign power wrong and told on you.
May have. Who knows? But yes.
Well, if we're going by her statement, that's what she's saying. Russia taught me.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bitch. Sorry, go ahead.
Connected to that, reason number 2, WikiLeaks. Weeks of disclosures of stolen emails from the personal account of then Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta were particularly harmful, Clinton said, adding that it, quote, played a much bigger role than I think many people yet understand. No, we understand. I think we understand. Especially the DNC.
Aren't those two basically the same?
What?
Russia and WikiLeaks?
Yeah, I mean, you would think, given the circumstances of things, that they're kind of one. Yeah, but she listed them off as 2 separate issues. Issue number 3, Comey. Clinton cited as damaging to her campaign his unusual decision to release a letter on October 28th, less than 2 weeks before Election Day, that said he was looking at additional emails related to the FBI probe of the former Secretary of State's use of a private server. Now, I can understand where Comey was coming from, because if he didn't do anything and something happened, it would look like he was committing a cover-up. If he does do something, it looks like he's playing politics. He had only one decision, because the lesser of those 2 evils is, I'm doing my job and I'm not trying to hide anything, period.
Yeah, but she doesn't bitch or doesn't take, doesn't give him credit for how well she was doing when he said that she had done nothing wrong. When that's
exactly. Yeah, no, she doesn't mention that.
I'm back on fuck you, bitch. Real quick, consideration. Thank you so much. Scribe, what is your opinion on the legitimacy of Sanders at this point to take seriously about the things he says?
Bernie Sanders?
I'm
assuming Bernie Sanders is not Colonel Sanders. Am I roboting, or is everybody else roboting?
I don't hear you roboting. So
okay, neither.
Okay, Monkey sounded like he was cutting out a little bit. The legitimacy of Sanders. To be completely honest, Bernie Sanders lost all legitimacy to me when he gave up his stage to the Black Lives Matters protesters. Because as soon as I saw that, I thought, okay, this is the man who wants to be president of the United States, and he's relinquishing his podium, his stage, his campaign to bullies. This is not someone I can imagine being in the White House, because I was thinking at the time, being very pragmatic about it. The idea was, if he had won the presidency after that incident, that incident occurs, then he wins the presidency. If I was a cynical Republican strategist, and that's pretty much all Republican strategists can be, every time that there had to be a negotiation regarding law or policy or anything else, I would make sure to send an African-American representative from the Republican Party to Bernie Sanders.
Oh, yeah.
Because that apparently is his Achilles heel. Now, again, it's got nothing to do with race so much as he showed his soft underbelly that this is his weakness. He is willing to back down rather than be accused of being a racist or being some kind of bigot or something. So there you go. So yeah, Sanders lost legitimacy to me a long time ago, regardless of what his policies were, just as a leader. That fell out. Scotch asked if we're going to talk about Sweden. Yes, we'll get to Sweden. I just want to finish this Hillary thing. Holy shit, Point.
Holy cow.
God, that's almost like
paying for this microphone.
That's almost like $15 of real money.
I'm telling you, at this point, I am pretty sure Point is my boss.
I think this stream is brought to you by Point Curation from Canada.
Yes, thank you so much, Point.
Yeah, pretty much. We should start running an ad on the stream. It's like, the more you know. Anyway, Hillary's last, or at least the last one listed on this particular article, and this article is coming from NBC News. The last bullet point on the list was, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 2 guesses. What do you think it was? It's one word. It's a concept.
Sexism.
You are just about right. Misogyny. Quote, certainly misogyny played a role. That has to be admitted, she said. Clinton added that, quote, some people, women included, had real problems with the idea of a woman president. So internalized misogyny as well.
But my vagina.
Nobody had a problem with a woman president. They had a problem with that woman as president.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she does go on to, she is asked about her own role in this fiasco. And this is what she had to say about that. About her own role, she said, quote, there were things I could have done better. While Clinton said there were lots of contributing factors to her failure to secure the nation's highest office, she called Russia's interference the weaponization of information. Quote, I didn't fully understand how impactful that was, and so it created doubts in people, Clinton said. But then the Comey letter coming as it did, just 10 days before the election, really raised questions in a lot of people. I'm still waiting for her to take responsibility for something. Let's see, because how about ignoring the Midwest? How about not going to those states that you actually lost it? Nope, she never, well, at least in this article, she never goes on to take any responsibility.
You should believe all rape victims. What about the ones that that accused your husband? Well, not them.
How about the basket of deplorables? How about calling half the electorate a bunch of racists and xenophobes? How about that?
We're planning on being more spontaneous. This the Clinton campaign was such a fucking shit show. And if you want to know why Bernie Sanders shouldn't have been president, is that he couldn't beat her. And I understand that there was some really weird shit going on in the DNC there, but he still couldn't beat this fucking woman. He should have been able to beat her like Obama had, because she was so flawed, not only as a candidate, but her candidacy. The whole fucking, it was such a shit show. It was so bad. Donald Trump got elected.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man.
She reminds me here of like one of my grandkids, you know, when they're doing something wrong and you go in. Why did you do that? Well, it was so-and-so's fault. I didn't do it. Not my fault.
Better Red Than Dead said anyone else would have been elected over Clinton. I don't think Bernie Sanders could have won the general election. Not with his socialist policies. And yes, I know he's a democratic socialist. But the simple fact is, it's not like young people turned out in great numbers for Donald Trump. Those people, the ones that would have been attracted to Bernie Sanders, for the most part, still voted for Hillary.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We had a terror attack today.
Yep. We had another truck of peace. Truck of peace part, what, like 3 or 4 now? I mean, I guess, well...
This time it's the beer truck of peace.
Oh, that's right. The beer truck of peace. Yes. Bringing inebriation and terrorism to a town near you.
Yeah. See,
and this was in Sweden.
Is it okay
Sweden, which is like, sorry, go ahead.
Is it okay for a Muslim to drive a beer truck?
I never thought of
I don't know.
I'm thinking Allah might have a problem with that.
Now, this is in Sweden, which is so pro-Islam that that rape victims apologize for having, thought badly of any refugees that may have committed crimes. I mean, this is Sweden where this happened. Where everything's supposed to be so much more tolerant and so much more socially just, and so on and so on and so on. The current information on the story is police have arrested 2 males after a truck attack in Stockholm's biggest pedestrian street that killed 4 and injured 15. Swedish public broadcaster SVT reports citing police sources. A man was arrested in the northern suburb of, I'm going to butcher this, Hillsjusta, I don't know, and is said to be connected to a man who was arrested earlier on Friday in the suburb of Marsta, close to the city's international airport. Police said the first man was arrested in connection to the attack, but would not say whether the second man was the driver of the truck. This is an interesting situation where, for one of the rare instances where the person driving the truck didn't die in a hail of gunfire or something else, or so that they actually captured these guys, presuming they are the ones that committed this, is rare.
Well, this is also the usually don't they do it like into some big public event? This guy just drove it into a store.
Well, I mean, it's the biggest public street, and it's actually given the amount of foot traffic this area usually has. It's amazing. Only 3 people were killed, or sorry, 4 people, and 15 injured.
Yeah, he should feel bad about himself. That's a bad terrorist.
I know he totally missed the mark. I mean, if this was Death Race 2000, he'd only have like 75 points.
So he's only going to get. So he would only get 35 virgins then,
and they'd be male.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's see. At least 15 people are injured in the attack, including children. 9 of those listed as being seriously injured. Sweden has been attacked, Prime Minister Stefan Löfven said in a nationally televised press conference. This indicates that it is an attack. That it is an act of terror. The country is in a state of shock. Terrorists want us to be afraid, want us to change our behavior, want us to not live our lives normally, but that is what we're going to do. We're going to pretend like this didn't happen. Good luck with that.
Does that mean you're not going to fix the store?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Who knows? Go about your business.
Just leave that truck there and pretend that's the new wall.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the same thought you did, Scribe. I mean, there's no more Islam-friendly Western country than they are. And if this happens there, what will make them happy? My answer is probably nothing.
Scotch McGinnis just said, SJWs are saying the truck attack in Stockholm was a false flag to distract from Americans bombing Syria. You know how many times I've heard false flag over the last 24 hours?
Yeah.
It's made my head hurt.
So many people
I actually had to turn Twitter off for a while today because I got a headache watching it all.
Well, InfoWars is hard on the Syria didn't gas anybody thing. And a lot of people are saying that was false flag. So now there's a false flag to cover up the false flag of a false flag something. Oh, wow. Thank you. Lenthair? Is that how you say it? Holy shit. Thank you so much.
$50. 50 real dollars.
Lenthair and Point. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the support.
Yeah, thank you. Let's see. Well, it is the Scribe and Money show. So, false flag this, false flag that. Everything. I mean, the Syria strike was a distraction against Gorsuch's nomination.
Yes.
And the truck of peace attack was a false flag to underscore Trump's. It's all connected, you see. Well, it's all connected. Illuminati, lizard people, gay frogs. It's all connected.
You got to back up a step because you forgot that the gas attack was a false flag so that we could attack Syria.
Yes.
We only attacked Syria.
Now I have had people reasonably ask, what is the hard proof that it was Assad that did it? Because we hear it is, but what's the proof? And I understand, paranoia and everything else, but in this day and age, it's not a bad thing to ask for hard proof, even if it is the common wisdom. So aside from that, which is a decent point, but so far I've seen a lot of stuff that shows that it was, so that's fine.
Well, the evidence that this was a false flag in Syria is that supposedly all of the chemical weapons that Syria had were destroyed.
Right.
But as was pointed, and that this was an accidental release of the whatever gas it is because of the Syrian strike. And that's not quite how gas works. Don't get your information from InfoWars.
Yeah,
or at least
just InfoWars. Yeah.
Scribe Monkey, can you help me with my homework?
What's your homework?
Sure. Turn on some music while you do it. That usually helps me.
Yeah. Also, what's your homework? Because I'm more than happy to give you answers to whatever questions are being asked. I cannot guarantee they are the right answers, but I have all the answers you need.
Any other big stories that were going on? Oh, we did get a new Supreme Court justice.
That did kind of happen.
Yeah.
And it was after they changed the rules to get to a simple majority to allow that to come through.
Yeah. Chucky Schumer was whining about how they did that. I'm like, go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah, not that they would have done it themselves if they had the chance. Give me a break. Did Ian say what his homework was? This is the most design of reinforced concrete components. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams. The end.
There you go.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, God. There you go. That's it.
You know,
write it down. Write it down in yellow crayon because they don't allow anything sharp here, and then hand it in.
Just be careful. If you actually are willing to write that down, make sure you don't drool on the paper. Get it on your
No. Drool on the paper. That'll give you like progressive stack cred to getting a good grade. Because at this stage, all you have to do is copy Black Lives Matter 100 times on a piece of paper to get into Stanford. So you're good to go.
Years ago, I actually had somebody write me a letter in crayon.
Nice.
Zach, I watch Better Call Saul. I think Monkey said he wasn't jazzed with it, but I've watched everything. Yeah.
I watched most of the first season and got bored with it. I love the idea of it, but yeah.
It's the second season builds things up quite a bit. And now in season 3, supposedly Saul encounters or Mike, the cleaner, encounters Gus Fring for the first time. So it's kind of it's building up pretty good.
I've never caught it yet. It's kind of a spin-off of my old brain.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Breaking Bad.
It's like one giant flashback to Saul's beginnings, but really season 2 is sort of like, this is Mike the Cleaner's origin story, and it's really, really cool.
I've never caught Breaking Bad either, even though everybody tells me I look just like the guy.
Breaking Bad is actually really good.
It's really good.
Joy of Sorrow said a 14-year-old boy killed himself today after his girlfriend faked her death on Facebook.
What?
That is horrible, and she's going to be fucked up for life over it. She just ruined a whole bunch of people's lives, including her own. That's fucking horrible. Captain Assassin said Don Rickles died. Was this already covered? Actually, we were in the middle of covering that last night.
Yeah.
When Trump decided to bomb shit.
Who's Don Rickles?
Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. You're older than me. You know who the fuck Don Rickles is.
No, he's doing SDA's bit.
Yeah, I'm
right. Okay, I'm with you.
Trying to fill in.
Oh.
No, actually, I was talking with Scribe a little bit on Twitter because he posted a little film clip that he liked. Well, he liked it, and it pops up on Twitter, and commented that the Carson cigarette box thing was classic.
Yeah, that whole there's several things out there, but there's several compilations of Don Rickles stuff right now. But one of the best ones was he was a guest on Carson a night when Johnny wasn't there, and he was screwing around on the set or whatever, and he inadvertently broke this cigar box that was on Johnny's desk, and apparently the cigar box was some memento that Carson had had for like 10 years since coming to that show, or at least to that set or whatever. And so he just kind of put it loosely back together and left it on the desk. Well, apparently between that and the next night, Johnny shows up and he's on his show, and he reaches for a cigar box randomly or whatever, and it falls apart on him. He's like, what the hell happened with this? And so live on the air, he's like, what the hell happened? And the guy who's the guest at the time, he was on the show the night before. He's like, yeah, well, it got broke last night. It's like, who broke this? And like, it was Rickles. He's like, Rickles broke this? He's like, and they're like, he's filming his TV show across the hall. And Carson's like, oh, the hell with this. He picks up a microphone and has them move the camera through the hallway down to where Rickles is filming an episode of CPO Sharky. And he just surprises Rickles right there. He says, what the hell did you do? He's like, oh, God, it's Johnny. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's just so randomly hilarious. And it's one of the few times that I've seen Rickles like not on. He was so caught by surprise, and he was so ashamed that he wasn't in Rickles mode. He was like a normal human being for a second. And then it was just, It was amazing. Anyway, I wanted to read the quick story about the kid who committed suicide, just for detail's sake, I guess. And it's about as tragic as you can imagine. An 11-year-old boy from Michigan who thought his girlfriend was going to commit suicide died Tuesday after attempting to kill himself 3 weeks prior. Katrina Goss, the mother of Tyson Benz, said her son was pranked and manipulated by a 13-year-old girl who purported she was going to take her own life. Quote, she told him she was going to kill herself and used other friends' social media accounts to put forth further fake proof that she did so. He even said he was going to kill himself, and she didn't make any attempt to call me or someone else to try and stop him. His death should never have happened. Goss said she disapproved of her son's relationship with the older girl and tried contacting her parent and aunt to stop the two from seeing each other. The boy allegedly purchased a cell phone from a friend in secret so he could communicate with the girl. The rest is just sort of like Fallout stuff, but oh God, that's just, Jesus.
Fucking kids.
11. At 11, I was still playing with GI Joes. I didn't have anything to be unhappy enough about that.
11. I don't even know what I was doing. I was probably playing a Nintendo at 11. Anyway, aside from that happy news, thanks, Point. Jeez, again,
Thank
bye.
you, Point. You have a good one too. Thank you so much for the donations tonight.
Yeah.
See you, Point. Thanks.
It feels so empty to say thank you for the donations when he gave so much.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't even know what to do to. Here, well, I'm snapping.
We should have we should find out something like that Point likes, and we should have like a segment or from him. There's got to be some kind of like reciprocation for that amount of support.
Point
you need to rename this. Yeah, we need to rename the stream.
Talk about me.
Oh yeah, we could name the Point we could give the name to the stream like The Point with Scribe and Monkey.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
With Scribe and Money.
Oh, Scribe and Money, yes, money, yes.
Any suicide jokes? No, I'm gonna refrain for now, Jeremy.
Any suicide jokes?
Your snapping is triggering me. Sorry, Sarah.
Or were you snapping?
I snapped in for first Point.
Clicking your pen? Oh, I see. Oh, that's right. The safe version of clapping now, yeah.
Monkey, when you were in school, what did kids do to get out of things? Pep rallies. Now people just fake their... I'm sorry, did that say... Damn chat moved too fast. Oh, now they fake gun threats. We didn't really. We were happy to get out of class. I would sit through an SJW talking if it got me out of fucking class.
Fucking class? I never had that class in school.
I actually had fucking class. We had my mom had to sign it wasn't fucking class, but we had a great the first day of sex ed class, which only certain students got to go to. You had to be one of the good kids, and your parents had to sign off on it. And the first day of class, the teacher had us take giant pieces of poster board and write down every slang we could think of for one group had the penis, one had vagina, and one had breasts. And it was the best assignment we ever had in school. Thank you, Skaggles the squirrel. Touch the monkey butt. We don't touch the monkey butt, not even for donations.
No, we got to get Mrs. Monkey to do that. Yeah,
it's get Mrs. Sacred monkey butt.
Yeah, get Mrs. Monkey to do that on Skaggles' behalf. Let's see. One other funny, weird story. Huh?
Real quick, did you have sex ed in school?
Who, me?
Yeah, no.
Well, I don't know. Maybe ask Bloodwing. Like, did they have sex ed back when he was a kid?
I know Bloodwing didn't have sex ed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, we did.
You did not.
Oh, yes, we did.
For those who don't know, Bloodwing is 85 years old. They did not even have sex back then.
It hadn't been invented yet.
No, we just come out of a Cabbage Patch.
There you go.
It's not often I can fuck with somebody about being the old guy in the group.
Yes, I did have sex ed in, I believe it was 3rd or 4th grade, if I remember correctly.
Jesus Christ, that's like South Park.
Yeah, it was relatively early. I mean, I remember my dad, he had, quote unquote, the talk with me at one point, and we watched an educational video he rented from the video store.
Nice.
It was, and I'm not talking about like he rented a porno. I'm talking about he rented an actual like animated educational video about sex education. We watched it, and then he asked me if I had any questions, and I was like, I don't know. It was really.
Thanks, Monkey.
Yeah,
now the chat really thinks I'm 85.
Oh, guys. He's only 84. He turns 85 soon.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm 57.
Don't lie to my audience.
You're 57. I thought you were 93.
I feel like it some days.
Oh, okay, I thought you were a lot older
did
than
the
that.
Lincoln assassination.
That's
guys,
why
the
I
Lincoln
walk with a limp.
assassination was a false flag.
Oh yeah.
Walk with a limp. Good one.
Now, Bloodwing was
for those of you.
Bloodwing was at the wheel when the Titanic went down.
There you go.
Oh, Mara's in the chat.
Yeah, she's been here for a while. She said hi when she came in.
I must have missed her. Crikey! Let's see. We have an MMA fighter was nearly pulled from UFC 210 Main card due to breast implants.
I'm sorry, what?
The UFC 210 main card bout between Cynthia Calvillo and Pearl Gonzalez was nearly scrapped for an unlikely reason. According to MMA Fighting's Ariel Helwani, a New York State Athletic Commission regulation regarding breast implants almost kept Gonzalez from competing. According to ESPN's...
Oh, I thought maybe it put her over the weight class.
Yeah. After careful consideration and review, I wonder what that involved, including a conversation with Pearl Gonzalez's treating physician, the commission has determined that Miss Gonzalez is medically cleared to participate in UFC 210 event in Buffalo, New York. What I want to hear about after this fight, because I'm probably not going to see it, is that she got punched and one of the things ruptured. And they'd be like, "Oh,
I just
well,
want to hear about her getting punched in the titties."
Yeah, well, if it happens, there will
Punch
be
her in
video.
the titties.
Yeah, you know the weak spot.
Was it because they were afraid she'd get punched in them, or because they might flop up and punch her?
They didn't. If there were specifics, they didn't say, and I already closed the window, and I'm too lazy to go back. So,
guys, I am inviting somebody onto the stream here. It's not who we talked about earlier. It's actually Rhodey. She's the person who first made me my very first fan art, and
thanks,
she's
Russell.
been following me since the beginning. Thank you, Russell.
Oh yeah. Right, one of the
His first bike was the kind with the giant front wheel and tiny rear wheel. Do you mean
I love you, Chad.
wheel or
no?
I know what you're talking about.
Penny, it's like penny something, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This is completely off topic, but I always wanted a big green machine. It's kind of like a big wheel, but it was more advanced.
Yeah,
I never got one.
that.
I'm still.
I had the
offended
big
by
wheel.
that.
I had a Kawasaki big wheel.
I loved my big wheel. I used to
Well,
play.
no, I
when
didn't.
We played chips.
I take that back. It was my sister that had the big wheel. I had a thing called the crazy car, which was 2 big wheels on each side. It would like spin in place.
I think you're still in the crazy car.
I think so.
All right, so who are we bringing on?
Rhodey. She'll be here in a minute. I'll introduce you guys.
Oh, War Machine?
She made me my first fan art. War Machine? No, not that Rhodey.
Oh, dang it.
This is my fault, guys. I told him we could go nerd tonight, but I didn't mean this early.
Well, I didn't know there was a schedule. Because I'm a nerd
There's
all the
not.
time.
You know better than.
I'm a nerd all the time. I do. I don't know. I don't know very much better because I'm still here.
Have you seen the grown-up big green machine? No. I want one though.
Isn't that called a Hummer? In both senses of the word.
Do they even make Hummers anymore?
Well, I don't know.
I know they stop after you get married.
I was about to say, how well do you reciprocate to your wife? Oh, we already have the answer to that question.
Barney Knight asks, when is my fan art video? I've been teasing this for like 4 months now. It is coming, I promise you.
Oh, yeah.
You know the bad part about that? That would probably be a really easy video for me to make because I don't even have to do much. I show somebody's picture and talk about how much I like it.
Yeah.
And I just keep putting it off as I do other things that sometimes, like that video last night, it's 5 minutes of new footage. The rest of it was a clip from our stream.
Right.
And that took me almost 5 hours just trying to say what the fuck I wanted to say. And it kept coming out wrong. And it would have been much easier for me to just shut the fuck up and do my fan art video finally.
You didn't script it, or did you script it?
That's not scripted, no.
Oh, okay. Well, I would recommend scripting.
I usually do. And well, I used to, but because of our streams, I've gotten much better about just articulating my thought. And I
really?
Fuck you very much.
Okay, tell me more.
I'm muting your ass.
No, not my ass. I have to fart.
Oh God, you can still go silent. I haven't had to do it for most videos lately. I've been able to just go off the cuff, and I might have to stop and, like trip over my words, but I know what I want to say. Mm-hmm. And last night, every time I started to say something, it would change because a new thought would pop in there.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And yeah, 5 fucking hours would have been much easier to just do the fan art video.
So these streams have actually been sort of beneficial in your ability to sort of articulate your thoughts then?
Yes, because
Okay.
one of the things, if you guys have been paying attention, one of the reasons I started YouTube is because typing hurts.
Oh
So
yeah.
having to sit here and script it, it's not as much as when I would use to, write 5,000 words, but it's still a lot of effort and pain.
Can you get one of those speech to text deals?
I could, but if I'm going to do that, I might as well just talk into my microphone.
Exactly.
Yeah, I suppose.
I'm just saying.
That's why I almost never script. So just go off the cuff.
I don't know where Rhodey is. I sent her the link.
Scribe,
see.
mind sending me some pics with your shirt off. I could easily do that. I'll just put my shirt on the floor and take some pictures and send them to you.
Well played. That's what I don't understand about women when they're asked for nudes. Just send nudes to somebody else. They'll never know. Just make sure you crop off the head.
Yeah. Better Red says articulate. Why not verbalize? Gesticulate. Well, gesticulate is using your hands. That's not actually talking. So you could be just doing ASL. And,
Yeah. For the record, as I'm talking to you, I am talking with my hands still.
Are you Italian?
No, I've just always talked with my hands.
So what exactly motions do you like what motions do you make with your hands when you're talking?
Usually like I'm beating off if I'm talking to you.
Oh, that's so hot.
Well, like right now my hand is kind of open and in the air.
Is it like
not
pointed
completely open like I'm praying, but my
okay. So it's sort of like at an angle upwards with your palm flat.
My pinky and ring finger on each hand are bent in. The forefinger and middle finger are slightly bent, and thumb is extended.
Okay, so you're sort of like doing the supervillain, like I will take over the world, sort of claw hand thing.
Kind of like that, yes.
Aha! That's how you speak. Ah.
One of these days, if I ever do a face reveal, I will stop and do a hand reveal for how I hand talk as well.
Scribe light needs structure. Yeah, I need an erector set, but not for that reason.
I loved erector sets.
Yeah, I bet you did.
I did.
Yeah.
Know how to be kawaii? No.
What does it say? Huh?
Does Ranting Monkey know how to be kawaii?
You mean the Hawaiian island? No, that's spelled differently.
That's spelled different. I don't know what that
is. Kawaii.
That's some kind of anime thing.
Oh. Hand reveal.
Oh, I don't know.
I did a hand reveal in one of my videos. I think it was, it was the last Dr. Hoff video, the last Radical Therapist video. I showed a picture of my hand with a Band-Aid on the back of it to show white privilege, because one of the white privileges from Peggy McIntosh's essay about the invisible knapsack is that Band-Aids are colored to match white people's skin tone. And so I put a Band-Aid on my skin tone, and you totally can't see it.
I've done a beard reveal and a tattoo reveal. That's all I've done.
There you go.
Well, when I build my computer, I'm considering actually recording it and uploading it. Because one of the things I've always wanted to do is a second channel that answers all the questions people ask me about the technical side of doing YouTube. And one of those things would be building my computer to do YouTube. And if I did that, you would absolutely see my hands. Which these days, actually, the doctor commented, it was so sad. The other day, the doctor commented that I don't have as much muscle in my hand as I should anymore.
My
hands are getting... I don't use them.
Well, it's odd given how much you jerk off.
I have the grip of a baby.
Well,
I can't even do that anymore.
Well, you have the grip of a baby, so you and your grand monkey can fight fair then.
Yeah, we're gonna fight. That girl.
You can arm wrestle her. You can arm wrestle her.
Which, by the way, I know you've mentioned it.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
We need to fix that.
Yeah.
1 second.
I'm working on it. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, is that better? Nope. You got headphones?
Yep, hang on.
Okay, just gonna mute you till you get them on.
I know you mentioned it, Monkey, but that grandkid was just cute as heck in that beginning of your video.
Yeah. Testing.
Okay.
Okay.
There we
Nope,
go.
I muted her again
Oh, okay.
while she's getting headphones in.
Okay.
Oh, and thank you. Yeah, she is freaking adorable. She turns 2 tomorrow, so I am not sure if I will be streaming tomorrow night, guys. Just a heads up. I want to, but I have family coming in from another state. All 3 of my children are up for the first time in forever, and I don't know if I will be done at a decent time to stream. If I do, it'll probably be closer to 10 tomorrow.
The terrible twos.
There we go. How you doing, Rhodey?
Ah!
You there?
Yeah, we are getting some horrible feedback.
I don't know what the heck could be causing it. I'm very not tech savvy when it comes to social media. I'm sorry.
All right,
No,
it's
no,
gone
you're
now.
fine.
It's gone
There
now.
we go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems to be gone now.
Ah,
Okay.
good.
Or almost.
Almost. Better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just don't move. Don't move anything. Just
I
stay
won't.
still. For the next like 30 minutes. Just do not do anything.
I shan't.
Rhodey, this is Scribe and Blood. Scribe and Blood, this is Rhodey. As I said, she made me my first fan art and has been following my channel since the beginning and has been very supportive of me, and I love Rhodey.
Hi,
Hey,
Rhodey.
Rhodey, how are you?
Good. Hi, guys.
Ah!
Whoa.
Oh, my goodness.
Something's wrong.
Okay. Are you still there?
Mhm.
Okay. How loud is your...
I don't think very.
Oh.
I am not really doing anything.
All right, whatever that was.
No, we are getting horrible feedback.
Yeah, like ear piercing feedback. Ow. Yeah. Okay. I can't.
Nope. Yep.
I gotta stop.
Nope. Hang in there. Rhodey, if what I'm going to do, because this, yeah, we're not going to be able to do it like this. I will get together with you if this works out for you. If this is okay with you, I'll get together with you Sunday and we will do this in advance so it's not going out over the stream, and we'll see if we can get this all worked out. Because yeah, that's killing my ears.
Had to turn my hearing aids down.
And could
Well,
still hear it.
At least you have that option.
No problem. I'm sorry, guys. We'll talk later.
Okay, sorry, Rhodey.
All right,
We'll
Rhodey.
set it up Sunday.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I hate technical difficulties. I had one today where like I worked 3 hours on a video, started rendering it, and then Vegas crashed. And then it crashed again. It would crash at different points in the rendering process. And I was like, please don't tell me I just wasted 3 hours putting all this together and recording and arranging all this stuff. And finally I had to make a bit of a sacrifice in the video in order to make the thing finally process it. But I hate being like, it's always these things where it's like we rely so much on technology, but it is so easy to have these things go kablooey and ruin everything. This is why I've strayed away from actually getting a smartphone all these years, because I don't want to become as dependent as I already am on technology. I don't want to become that more dependent on technology.
Well, just consider this. We have SDA in this chat every night and still get echo from her. So anything can go wrong with this stuff when we're trying to do it. And with somebody who hasn't done it many times, it's one of the reasons who was with us yesterday? Buttercup. I did that very thing with her first. We worked it out in advance, and I should have done that there. Rhodey, that's no problem. We will get that worked out and get you back on another time.
Okay. Do we want to, is it nerd time yet, or am I not allowed to
It
be
is nerd time.
Oh boy. Okay. So
wait.
Yep.
I just want to warn everybody in the audience, if you don't like movie talk or Marvel talk or other nerd talk, we're going to do it now. But listen anyway. So go ahead.
Okay. So, well, where shall we begin? Shall we talk about Fifth Element?
Are you a big fan of Fifth Element? That's the Bruce Willis movie, right?
Yes, this is Bruce Willis, Luc Besson, 1996 or 7, I think. I'll double check, but yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. Not like Top of the Pops, Doctor Strangelove, but I really like that movie.
I remember seeing it back on cable. That's how long ago it was. I haven't had cable in forever. And it wasn't something I thought was the most horrible movie ever, but it's not one I'd go back and watch again.
It has it is cult material all over. Gary Oldman. So it's got so many interesting things going on. The visual style of that movie is just incredible. The music is original to the movie, except for one song, I guess, was produced prior, but you wouldn't be able to tell. The world building, where a lot of it, what I really appreciate about it is it doesn't lead the audience around by the nose too much. It just sort of like, this is the world, this is normal, seeing this thing is fine, this is the future. The bad guy and the good guy never meet. It is one of the few movies where the villain and the hero never encounter each other, and yet their actions on both sides of the equation have a direct effect on each person's sort of situation. It's really cool in that way.
And it's got Black Hitler in it. Oh, wait, that wasn't.
No, that's not Black Hitler. That's just Ruby Rod. Oh my God! It's got Chris Tucker in probably one. Now he's in a role that I can understand why people find him the most irritating thing on the planet. However, that was the point, and that's kind of what makes the character endearing in a way. But it is an acquired taste. I understand why some people don't like it, but it's really a 50-50 thing. Either you like it or you don't. There's really no in between. It seems like, and I think it's great. I especially like the opera sequence at the Pava Laguna. That was just that piece of music. I bought the soundtrack, the instrumental soundtrack, because it's just so good. It's just such great music.
What is your all-time favorite sci-fi movie?
My all-time favorite sci-fi movie, Empire Strikes Back.
Good one. Yeah, I'd have to go with that.
I mean, you can't get much better than that for either space opera or just everything else. I mean, yeah,
we're speaking of the talkies here. That's what movies are.
Yeah.
2001: Space Odyssey.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Good movie.
That's a good movie. And Luc Besson, so he has a new movie coming out soon called Valerian. This is also sort of like Fifth Element, which was based on the visuals of French sci-fi comic books. This one is based specifically on a sci-fi French comic book. I believe it's French, called Valerian. And it visually looks very similar, or at least in the same realm as Fifth Element. I don't think it's a sequel or anything. I would not be surprised if there are some connective elements in there just for the sake of having fun, like putting E.T. and Star Wars kind of thing. But I will be going to see it because Luc Besson is kind of a hit or miss, like The Professional, a classic movie. Fifth Element, great movie. I think he did Cutthroat Island, if I'm not mistaken. Not so great. I could double check on that one, but
I need to stop you because we missed one major story that we should have addressed.
Oh, sorry.
Did you see that apparently one of Trump's options for dealing with North Korea is putting nukes in South Korea?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, sorry. Cutthroat Island was directed by Rennie Harlan. I got mixed up, so apologies on that. But no, I did not see that story. So South Korea doesn't already have its own nukes, I assume, then?
No. They would be American nukes, and we just have them there in case. But
so do we want to instill a Cold War / mutually assured destruction scenario with North and South Korea?
Sounds like it, yes.
How about no?
Yeah.
Fewer nukes in the world is better, I think.
That's why I forgot to cover it, because the only thing to say to that is just no. No.
Yeah. It is an option, but so is like nuking South Korea. That's an option. You can do it. Get rid of South Korea, then there's no problem.
Fair point. But we could put a submarine with nukes right off the coast.
Oh, we probably do.
No shit.
It's not sure we probably.
Yeah, let's put some ground-based ones there. That'd be smart. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. That's all I had to say about Fifth Element or anything, unless there was something else to say about that one.
No, you seem to be the only one who really liked it.
Yes, I'm the only one ever who really liked it.
I was so on it. I mean, kind of like Monkey. I didn't hate it, but not up there with one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's not something I'd ever seek out.
Scribe Light, what did George Lucas had to do if the prequel was supposed to be great? I'm going to assume you're saying what would he have had to do to make the prequels better? Not direct them. He could write, he could produce, whatever else, but he should have left the directing to others like he did with Empire and Return of the Jedi. He lucked out with A New Hope, but he should not have directed any of those prequel movies.
And leave out Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks could have been a good character with better writing and a director that knew how to get. And I've said this before, the brilliance that George Lucas had on Empire is that he gave the directing chops over to Irvin Kershner. And Irvin Kershner knows how to direct actors and get emotion and tell a story with characters, using the characters to propel the story. Lucas just likes getting the shots and getting the actions and filling up the storyboards. If a director... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the criticisms of the first movie was Anakin was stiff as a board, and George Lucas came out and said he directed him to be that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Who wants to fucking watch that?
Yeah, this is why George Lucas should not have directed any of those movies. If a director who could if you watch some of the behind the scenes stuff, you'd see George Lucas sort of like just get the shot he wanted and then move on, rather than giving the actors some time to sort of play with the dialogue and sort of, get into character and sort of that kind of thing. Lucas doesn't know how to direct actors. He knows how to direct action. And so if you'd had someone who was behind the camera who could allow the actors to sort of feel their way around and not either stick to the script or be so mechanical about it, Jar Jar Binks could have become a more interesting character. Not necessarily with that voice or tone or all that other bullshit. But, I would have rather they made Jar Jar Binks some gobbledygook consolidated language and then put subtitles underneath him. Something like that would have been better. But anyway.
With both the prequels and now the further sequels, one of the things that you can recognize really easy is the characters who are supposed to be the next R2-D2.
Yes.
And Jar Jar was definitely supposed to be that character, and that weird little rolling thing is supposed to be one.
Yeah.
They could have cut that shit out completely. And they really could have done... I get that they wanted to do a Vader origin story, but they could have done the prequels without ever going into that at all, or hitting on it just slightly. He made it way too much about it being Anakin's rise into Vader.
Well, the idea was this was supposed to be the story of the Skywalker bloodline, and you really can't tell that without telling Anakin's story. And since apparently he was a virgin birth, that's really where it begins. Except we know how he was actually conceived, those of us that read the expanded universe stuff, even though that's probably not canon anymore, although it might be. We're still waiting to find out.
Yeah, they turned him into Jesus L. Ron Hubbard Skywalker.
Or the product of a...
And...
No, he was the product of Sith alchemy. So he is technically the child of Sith alchemy. So
it was all stupid. He should have let somebody else just completely take the reins of the whole thing.
Yes, exactly.
Sat back and cashed his check.
Yeah, write the basic script, produce, advise, that kind of thing. But otherwise, I just that would... I don't know if that would have made the prequels worthwhile, but it sure as hell would have made them better. Because what we got was just, like I say, I appreciate from the 30-story vantage point looking down, the world building in addition to the Star Wars universe as it was. I appreciate the very broad narrative of the story without getting into the details, because getting into the details means actually having to watch the movies. And the Clone Wars animated show, excellent. Rebels so far, it has its weak spots, but overall it's been pretty good, especially the last couple seasons. So what has been added on to the original movies has been hit or miss, but like with so many other things, even if it's bad Star Wars, it's still Star Wars, and I'm a crack junkie, so,
Straight Sith Mail said they never said he was Jesus-like. They did when he was a virgin birth.
Yeah, the virgin birth thing really goes into the Joseph Campbell, hero's journey kind of thing, and so many heroes or deities from antiquity came from virgin births, whether you're talking about Mithras or Jesus or Dionysus and so on. It's too common a thing of a godlike prophet type figure not to make that comparison.
Let's see. Chat, you guys can throw out stuff too here.
Yeah, you guys get to set the nerd agenda now, because I could go anywhere, and I'm sure Monkey could too. And Bloodwing,
Oh yeah.
Bloodwing, science is still a new concept for him, but fiction certainly isn't, because there's Paul Bunyan and the tall tales that he wrote.
Hey, I was a
True, yes.
nerd when the term was invented. Trust me.
Everyone is a virgin at birth. Yes, Red. Thank you. Except we all go reverse out of Mama, so maybe we're not based Mama.
think-
That'd be weird.
You just went somewhere bad.
I did go somewhere really bad.
That's
Yes, Scotch. There were two versions of the Clone Wars cartoon. There was the original one done by the Samurai Jack guys, which was pretty good for itself, but most of that information was supplanted by the animated version that came out of Lucasfilm. What's with all the Disney live action movies? They keep trying to for whatever reason. Somebody said, "Oh, well, they're trying to rekindle their license on the characters or something." Most of those stories are public domain to begin with, because they're all grim fairy tales things, or things that Disney made up themselves. All they're doing really is, which I don't understand, is that they got a lot of traction out of Maleficent. It made a lot of money. They've gotten a lot of traction out of the Cinderella thing. It made a lot of money. As long as people are willing to pay money to see these live action remakes of animated films, they'll keep making them. And Beauty and the Beast is no exception. And now we've got a Mary Poppins sequel or something coming out soon. Now, granted, that wasn't animated, all of it, but they're really digging into the vault. And it seems really stupid, because I would rather see Disney put out something new. I mean, God forbid.
Yeah, but where do they go? I mean, I agree with you. Just re-release the other shit. Save yourself a ton of money. But man,
Barney, don't get too excited for Mulan, because apparently they're removing all the music. There may be music in it, but they're apparently not going to use any of the music from the animated film, which kind of defeats the purpose.
you know what they should do?
What's that?
When they're doing these live action remakes, they should switch the music between the different ones. So like Beauty and the Beast could have had Little Mermaid soundtrack.
Oh God.
Just to make it interesting.
You poor unfortunate souls. Like, what? I'm the Beast.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Mulan's not the same.
just have bells singing. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not a Mulan fan. My children love it. I hated that fucking movie.
I heard Harry K says, I heard there's a live action Lion King in the works. Yes, there is. We discussed that, SDA Monkey and I, a while back, and we're kind of like, well, it's got to be all CGI with like maybe some motion capture, because it can't be live action unless they're going to have people in sort of like abstract animal costumes doing a Broadway type show.
As long as it's not Frozen. I'm sorry. I know SDA loves Frozen, but I have granddaughters, and I'm over Frozen.
Scribe Light, what's your most hated sci-fi remake? God, the first one that comes to mind, I don't know if it's my hated, it's Total Recall. I hate it so much I never watched it, because I knew ahead of time it's like, this is going to be shit, and it was, as far as everybody that I know has told me that I trust.
I wasn't a big fan of the first one.
I like the first one. It's got a lot of camp in it, and a lot of really cool one-liners and bits and pieces that were just sort of like iconic for my childhood. The 2 weeks thing, Benny, screw you. It's just like these lines are so. Oh man.
It's like The Running Man. I know these were big movies when they came out, and I watched them, and I didn't hate them, but I never saw the mass appeal, what everybody thought was so great about them.
Better Red says the Manchurian Candidate remake sucked. Yes, it did. It really did. I mean, what a waste of Denzel Washington and Liv Schreiber. I just like, what was the point? I mean, they had to play such eggshell games with it not to offend anybody, because the original was like, these are prisoners of war hypnotized by the I believe it was the Chinese government to assassinate. Yeah, what's the point? Don't remake classics. Re-release classics. The classics are immortal in a way for a reason because they're that good. Don't remake classics. Remake things that didn't work. Remake things that were good ideas executed poorly. Stop remaking things that you could just easily re-release in the theaters and make a profit. RoboCop remake stunk. It really stunk, but mainly because they left him with his personality. Because the whole idea behind RoboCop is that he couldn't remember his former life.
Yes.
That he was mostly machine, and he was trying to it was that little spark of humanity left in him that was fighting against the programming. In the RoboCop remake, he's completely aware of who he was, what happened, the whole 9 yards. It takes that all away. It's just, okay, so he's a guy in a robot suit. The end. It was bad.
I haven't seen it. I'm not big on remakes on any genre. So.
Oh, Judge Dredd. Okay, the Sylvester Stallone thing is hilarious just for the parts. Like, the law. That whole thing was funny. But Dredd, the movie with Carl Urban that came out in 2013, I think, that is excellent. Oh my God, it's so good. And then they haven't made a sequel. Oh, I mean, it's so perfectly done. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. That movie's great. Everybody who hasn't seen it, definitely check that movie out. It's amazing.
I agree with you on that one. Yep.
Wasn't there a CGI remake Star Wars? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, episode 1. Any Star Wars crushes? Mine's Ton Wei. Oh, Star Wars crushes. Well, Leia in the slave bikini. I mean,
oh God,
yeah.
Yes.
But other than that, there were these. God, who was it? In episode 1, when they're at the getting ready to do the race or whatever, there's these 2 Twi'lek girls in like skin tight outfits.
Mm-hmm.
I like those. Oh yeah, Twi'lek girls are always nice. Let's see. Dread was the fucking bomb. Watch it now just because you guys have avoided Dread. Diz, no, seriously, it's great. Dread is great. I mean, if you like exceedingly violent sort of cyberpunk / dystopian movies, it's amazing. And Lena, what is her name? Anyway, the lady who plays the bad guy in that, she does an amazing job too. She was Sarah Connor in the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
Ever watch The Thing? Do you like it? Watch the horrible remake. Well, you mean the original Thing? Like watch The Skies with like what's his name from Gunsmoke playing the monster? Yeah, the classic.
Yeah, I can't think of his name now.
Yeah, it'll come to me. But the John Carpenter movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. One of the best monster movies of all time. I mean, the great thing about that movie, the documentary on its making is really interesting. The commentary with John Carpenter and Kurt Russell on the DVD is amazing too. Those guys spent like 2 weeks rehearsing and getting to know each other before they even started filming. And that's why when you see that movie, there's such sort of natural camaraderie between these guys because they actually spent time, working up to that point, rather than with movies today where they just sort of like put them out on a conveyor belt. The Thing movie that came out recently wasn't a remake, it was a prequel. And it was bad. It was bad for many reasons. I could go into length at what it was bad for. But the one greatest sin of that movie was the effects house guys had made almost all the monsters practical. And then they replaced almost all the monsters with CGI in post, which was just stupid. I don't know why they did it. It was a waste. It wouldn't have helped the movie's narrative, plot, or characters, but the amount of work and artistry that went into making those things practical effects, just like what Rob Bottin did in the original Thing with John Carpenter, it's a shame that got all wiped over with CGI.
Diz, you might get your wish. Didn't you tell us yesterday, Scribe, that Dune was getting a remake?
Dune is Dune, Doon, just so you know. Dune is being remade apparently, or at least there's a script being written in process by the guy who did Forrest Gump. Now that's not a bad thing necessarily because he's a very good writer, and Forrest Gump was a very well put together movie. How they're going to do it without making it into like a Lord of the Rings type trilogy and do it justice, I don't know. I don't know all the details on it. I'm sure there's more floating out there. But yes, Dune is apparently a remake is in the works of some type.
Yes, Scotch, I have seen True Grit. I'm a huge Duke fan. I've seen every movie he's ever made several times, including that terrible The Conquerors, the one where they supposedly all got cancer. But
Mara says, okay, guys, serious question. You always go into geek territory, so I'm mixing it up. Favorite chick flick and favorite high school-based TV show? I have real quick answers for those. The first chick flick, Somewhere in Time, with Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour. That is about as chick flick tearjerker as you could ask for. It's not new, but if you can find it, it's definitely a date movie if you have a girlfriend, or I suppose these days a boyfriend who can be easily manipulated by that kind of thing. As far as high school-based TV show, Saved by the Bell, because Zach Morris is a blonde Tom Cruise.
welcome back, Potter.
Saved by the Bell was awesome. I also liked Head of the Class.
Oh yeah, Howard Hessman.
Yeah,
Arvid.
Oh yeah, Arvid. That was the nerd.
Yeah, there's this one episode where he he decides he's going to go get a nose job, right? Because he doesn't like his nose, and so he has this bandage on his face for the entire episode. And because he thinks he's had his nose fixed, he has this sort of like fabricated sense of renewed self-confidence, and he starts like flirting with girls.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this one girl in the show, I forget her name, but she was a blonde, and one of her signature things, she wore these like sort of jeans that were all sort of torn up or had holes in them or whatever. And his line to her is, you know, if I put together all the days I've seen you in your jeans, I've practically seen you naked. And it's just like,
yeah. My favorite chick flick is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I just like that movie.
oh yeah.
I don't know that I've got any.
Back when you watched those kind of things, didn't guys always play the girls in roles?
Some like it hot.
I love you guys.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper. I only watched that show one time.
Scribe Light, name a movie you're embarrassed to admit you enjoy. I'm embarrassed to admit I enjoy. That's a really tough one because I'm usually not embarrassed about anything.
I know what mine is. I
mean, I'm more than happy to talk about a number of things that would make most people ashamed. So, have I seen Cuffs? Oh, you mean Christian Slater's attempt at being the most Jack Nicholson he ever was when he was a kid?
God, that movie's like...
I saw Cuffs. I'm sorry, I saw Cuffs. You know, it's a better movie. The Rookie with Clint Eastwood and Charlie Sheen, which most people have forgotten about now. But that's right. Christian Slater films. What's a good Christian Slater film?
Heathers.
Yeah, Heathers. But that's not really a Christian Slater film. Like, what's a Christian Slater vehicle that worked? Because certainly not Alone in the Dark, unless you want to like have your eyes bleed out of your head.
How many? What was the one where he was the DJ on the pirate station?
Oh, Pump Up the Volume. Yes, Pump Up the Volume. Pump Up the Volume was an excellent Christian Slater film. Yes, you are absolutely correct. Good job.
Was it as big as a baby's arm?
Yeah.
Buttercup said that she's addicted to live streams. Thank you for watching. I love you guys for tuning in. I got one of the greatest horrible compliments ever today on my channel. And it was meant as an insult, but the person said that I was using my buttery voice to say stupid shit.
Ooh, buttery.
Like, to hide the fact that I'm an idiot. Like, I'll take that as long as you still listen.
Hey, chat, I know I'm going to regret asking this, but what food product would you put alongside my voice? I know I'm going to regret this.
Smoked sausage.
Well, you can do that in your free time, but I prefer pussy.
Dick bacon.
No dick bacon. Crikey.
Favorite Kevin Bacon film, Footloose. I fucking love that movie.
Favorite Kevin Bacon film?
I don't know. I kind of, and it's one of those guilty pleasures. I kind of like the, if anybody remembers the movies, Tremors. He was in the first one.
Oh, yeah, Tremors, Flatliners, Stir of Echoes. There's one that's really controversial. It's called The Woodsman, and where Kevin Bacon plays a released from prison child sex offender. It's a very dark, super dramatic downer movie, but he does an excellent job in acting in that movie. It's not for everybody. It's disturbing. There's nothing explicit goes on in there. It's all implied, but it's a tough movie to watch, but he does a really good job in it. Favorite Kevin Bacon movie is Hollow Man. Oh, Jesus. Not Hollow Man. The special effects in that were great, and somewhere on a CD somewhere is Kevin Bacon's entire body, head toe down to his nervous system, is like on a disc. It's a fun movie to watch once in a while, but otherwise it's so bad. Especially don't watch the sequel. There's a direct to video Hollow Man 2. Don't stay far away from that movie.
Scribe, this has been asked a couple of times by Corey. Do you think 13 Hours, the Benghazi movie, had anything to do with why Hillary lost the election?
Doubtful. Benghazi was such an overplayed. I think at the point the campaign started, Benghazi was just white noise to most people, because it'd been so hyped up and played up so much. So I would
agree.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, that was all.
Okay. Scotch wants to know our favorite Kevin Costner movie. I told mine the other night, Tin Cup, followed very, very closely by Bull Durham.
Silverado.
Oh yeah. The one that's most forefront of my mind right now is Mr. Brooks, because that was a weird turn for Kevin Costner playing like the villain, especially a serial killer. It's not the greatest movie. I mean, for what it was, Dane Cook did a decent job. I'm not a big Dane Cook fan, but at least in the acting position he was in there, that was pretty decent. So it was an interesting movie. But I guess my favorite Kevin Costner movie has to be JFK. Not because the movie was good, just because Kevin Costner gave his all to that movie. And that's a long movie to have to work with.
Although I will admit, and I'll probably get a lot of flack for this, I'm one of those few people that like The Postman.
Oh, yeah, with Tom Petty as the mayor of Bridge
Yeah.
City. Yeah, I remember
that. Favorite old Western? Well, by this time, every Western I've seen is old.
Yeah.
McClintock.
Magnificent Seven. Which is
The
just
original, yeah.
which is just a riff off the Seven
Right.
Samurai. So if not
Yep.
that, then The Searchers. Sam Peckinpah kind of movie.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones was great in JFK, Sarah. As a movie, JFK was actually a really good movie, whether or not you believe in the conspiracy or not.
Right.
It was if you've seen the director's cut, then it's really kind of, there's a reason that they make Oliver Stone cut shit out of his movies.
Yes.
Unforgiven wasn't pretty good. Unforgiven was fucking excellent.
Yes.
That is the slowest build up to the greatest end of a movie I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. And everybody did a great job in that movie, from Richard Harris. I mean, I talked about this in a previous stream, I think. Richard Harris as English Bob. He doesn't even meet Clint Eastwood. I think in passing, like they're coming into town, they see him in a stagecoach or something.
Yeah,
and
he's
yet,
asleep.
yeah, but he totally. I mean, it's such an interesting device that he totally sets up what kind of man Little Bill is.
Yeah.
Before our hero even gets there, which is it's so good. Oh.
Scribe, what do you think of the Ace Ventura movies?
First one was funny, and then that's it. I mean, great
Did you
vehicle
see the
for.
third one?
No, I never watched anyone. I think I saw the second one, but the first one was really funny. It had some really good stuff in it.
The first one I was actually surprised by. I think you and I have discussed this before. The first movie I was expecting Jim Carrey to just suck.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so funny and so well done. I loved it.
Yeah.
And then I saw the second one, and that's what I expected the first one to be.
Right.
It
Yeah,
was so bad.
Jim Carrey. So I remember, now most people aren't going to even remember this show. I mean, you have to look it up. I remember seeing Jim Carrey on an old show called The Duck Factory, and this is before Living Color. And he was playing a straight like a straight man. I'm not talking about like his orientation. I'm talking about like he wasn't the goofy goofball.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I saw him on Living Color for the first time, I thought, this can't be the same person, because it's just such a shift from the character he was playing in that show versus just him being let loose. And then when he started doing Ace Ventura, I thought, like, okay, so he's basically the new Robin Williams. When I was a kid, I thought he's like Robin Williams. When he started to try to do serious stuff like Truman Show, like The Majestic, I thought, okay, maybe he is like a Robin Williams. Like he's working up to his 1 hour photo or his Dead Again kind of thing where Robin Williams went dramatic. He tried going real serious with the number 23, and that didn't go so well. It was an interesting movie, but yeah, not very good. And then after that, I mean, most of the stuff he's done since then has been mostly children's stuff, if I recall.
Yeah. Ace Ventura was so good, and I actually liked The Truman Show. I had forgot about The Majestic. He actually did a pretty good job in that as well.
Yeah.
He's actually a pretty good dramatic actor.
Yes. He needs the right director to keep the reins in, and the right script. I think those are the two things. Because I think if somebody like Jim Carrey walks on your set and you're not willing to give him boundaries, you're going to get shit, or it's going to go awry. So you really have to have a director that's got a spine to stand up to his goofiness.
Ranting Monkey, have you decided on a video card for your new PC? I got the GTX 970 before I knew anything about memory problems. I got all my internal hardware today. I'm waiting on the case, which is supposed to get here Monday. So yes, I went with a GeForce 1060, 6 gigabyte. Bruce Almighty was his best. I actually like Bruce Almighty Against All Odds.
Against All Odds, that was a great movie.
It was, but it shouldn't have been. It should have been. What was the other one? Evan Almighty.
No, I was talking about Against All Odds, the movie Against All Odds.
Oh, Against All Odds actually really was. See, now you've switched. Now you're going
I know. I was trying to throw you for a loop.
Against All Odds was an excellent movie. Best Mel Brooks movie. It's gotta be Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, for Monkey, it's Blazing Saddles all the way. I still really like Spaceballs, because I saw that before I saw Blazing Saddles, and that made the most impression on me.
I love Spaceballs. I love History of the World. I'm the only one I don't like, which everybody loves, is Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, I don't like it as much as other people say it's great. I mean, it's not bad by all means, but it never made me laugh. Right. I mean, it's just got a very it's Frankenstein. It's like, okay, I mean, yeah, har, I guess. No, I mean, nothing about it ever made me laugh. I can see it for its quality as a film, as far as it being made, the style it was in, and everything else. But I never thought it was a comedy. It never really. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. No, I'm sitting here laughing at myself replaying Blazing Saddles in my head. That's how good that movie is. If you can just think of a movie and it makes you laugh, that's a good comedy. But I'm the same way with Airplane. That movie just still makes me laugh every fucking time.
There's some things that never get bad, and Airplane and Blazing Saddles are one of those two.
Here in my house, it's Search for the Holy Grail.
Oh yes, Monty Python.
Oh, Monty Python, yeah.
We actually make family nights of that, much like people do. What's that? Rocky Horror Picture Show. We'll sit and we quote all the lines back and forth to Search for the Holy Grail while we're getting drunk.
Since it's the elderly stream, what's the weirdest thing about young people?
The elderly, I used to just because I'm here.
For me, honestly, it's how indoors they are now, and even when they're outdoors, go to a mall sometime. Everybody's fucking neck is bent downwards.
Yeah, no shit.
If I can look up, people. You're only young once. Stop abusing it.
Somebody asked me if I like Super Troopers. I love Super Troopers. I think it's great. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I don't think they've finished making the sequel yet, because it was a big Kickstarter or something to do that. I'm wary of a sequel, because Super Troopers is the only movie that Broken Lizard ever made that was any good. everything else that they've done, as far as I recall, was pretty much crap. But Super Troopers was sort of like kismet, and you can't really repeat that.
I'm still stuck on Blazing Saddles, and for some reason, when Mongo comes into town and punches the horse,
That was actually the scene I was thinking of, Monkey.
I fucking love that. Somebody asked us what we think of Austin Powers. I thought the first two were really good.
Yeah.
And the third one was an abomination.
Yeah, Michael Myers, or Mike Myers, rather than separate him from the serial killer, he's bombed. I mean, except for Shrek, like just about every movie he's tried to do since Austin Powers, starting from Austin Powers 3 and onward, has pretty much been garbage, really.
Yeah, he's kind of lost it.
Have you seen Strippers versus Zombies? I own a copy of Strippers versus Zombies, or Zombie Strippers, whatever it is, because it was given to me as a Christmas gift. It's got what's her name, the porn star in it that I'm suddenly forgetting her name. Also, Jenna Jameson. Yeah, I've got that. I think Robert Englund plays the guy who announces the strippers as they come on stage. Yeah, it is a big. It's a big ball of manufactured cheese, but it's fun.
Goldmember was amazing. See, that's what Dick Bacon does to you, Mara.
Yeah, this is Australian humor.
You eat Dick Bacon and then you like Goldmember.
Fuck you, Scribe. You didn't even know what I was going to say. What are you, psychic? Jesus. It's like, Goldmember was amazing. I know what Scribe's going to say. Fuck you, Scribe. Oh, well, fine. What did I think of Wayne's World 1 and 2? Wayne's World 1 is a classic. Wayne's World 2 was like so many other things. It's like unnecessary and stupid.
Made for the money.
Better Red likes cheese. What kind of cheese? What is the best cheese? I know the answer to this question, but I'm willing to let the chat try to guess what is the best cheese on the planet. And I'm talking like actual cheese, and not the cheeses of Nazareth.
Spray cheese.
Go back to Russia. they need more personnel on the ground in Syria now. So go back to Russia.
Serenity Lotus, I will answer your question here in a second after we're done guessing cheeses.
Yeah, so let's see. We got provolone. No, you're wrong. No. Dick cheese. No.
See, somebody said dick cheese. I knew that was
American cheese. No. Semen. No. Feta. No. Sharp cheddar. No. English cheddar. No. I can't believe nobody's got this so far. Dick cheese. No.
Do I like any Tim Burton movies? I like.
Ken Lee. You split it, but yes, Gouda. Gouda is Gouda. Smoked Gouda is the best cheese. Smoked Gouda is the best.
Pop-Tart even said smoked Gouda.
Very good Pop-Tart. Yeah, Pop-Tart and Ken, you guys get the cheese prize for that one. And so what was Serenity Lotus's question?
Favorite Tom Cruise movie?
Now,
this is not his best work. This is because I'm a child of the 70s who grew up in the 80s, and this is Tom Cruise to me, Top Gun. Plus, it had F-14s flying in it. And I fucking love that plane.
I liked him better in the NASCAR film. What was it, something Thunder?
Days of Thunder.
Days
of Thunder.
My favorite Tom Cruise movie. That's. Let me think for a second. That's a tough one. There's so many at this point. What?
Hey, Based.
It's Based
Hey,
Mama.
sorry, I had to take a call really fast, and then I'm in. So, hey, everybody. Hi, Sky. Hi, Bloodwing. How are you?
I am just fine, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm doing wonderfully. I hope you're doing well. I love your movie. I have shared it on Facebook. I have shared it everywhere. I love it. I'm so proud I got an RPG, by the way.
Well, thank you.
I'm like, hey, that's me.
I thought you'd like the fact you had 3 bazookas in your scene.
Okay.
Terrible.
Hang on. I'm going to plug you real quick, Bloodwing. For those of you who don't know what Mama's talking about, Bloodwing made a video that has voice acting from a whole bunch of us. It's over on his channel. Make sure you go and watch that. I will link it after the stream. It's not in the description yet.
I have.
What's the title? World War ZJW?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, so funny, so funny.
I have 3
I love
answers.
Amanda in the Bank. Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Just real quick. I have 3 answers for the Tom Cruise question, unfortunately, because I can't really decide. They're different enough that I just love them all. Interview with a Vampire.
I got that.
Because I'm a vampire freakazoid, so I mean, it is cheese in a lot of ways. It's not like the books at all, but I enjoy it. The other one is Magnolia which a lot of people might not know of, but it's now it's not a Tom Cruise
Magnolia
vehicle.
was a good movie.
Yeah, it's not a Tom Cruise vehicle per se, but he does an excellent job in that for his role. And lastly, and I think probably my favorite Tom Cruise movie ever, probably the top of the three, Collateral. Collateral was amazing. That movie's
I
great.
still haven't watched it. That's the one with him and
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of weak points in the plot, but in the overall, it's amazing. I mean, Michael Mann, he tried this digital camera work style before he did Miami Vice. It's a much better movie than Miami Vice by yards and miles. But yeah, that's a great flick.
Scotch, that's actually one of my top two favorite movies. My top favorite movies is tied between To Kill a Mockingbird and Casablanca.
Oh, I love Casablanca.
Yeah, Bloodwing worked on both those movies.
Actually, I did have a chance to work on a movie once and almost took it, but when I worked for FedEx, boy, my brain is so bad. When they done that movie, the fellow that was shipwrecked out of the airplane, and he talked to his Wilson.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks was in that.
They actually had a
Castaway.
call for people they actually had a call for people to be extras in the beginning scenes of that because he was an employee of FedEx. But I didn't
Oh,
take it.
Adrian wants me to ask if you guys have seen the Carry On movies.
No, I've heard of them.
No.
I've never heard of them. I'm sorry.
Scribe, who do you consider to be the first vampire? Cain, with an I in the middle.
Sure.
Yeah, because I mean, Vampire the Masquerade, yo.
Yeah.
I mean, Cain and then Lilith and then all that fun stuff. I've got that lore so locked in my head that it's pretty much reality to me at this point.
So I have you pegged as a troubadour in your LARP. Am I right?
A Toreador?
Toreador, there you go. Yeah.
My last long-term character was indeed a Toreador. But he was not he was completely off cliche Toreador. I always tried to play a little bit against type with the characters I played.
Favorite Bond film? Yeah, they're mostly the same.
View to a Kill because of Christopher Walken and the Duran Duran soundtrack.
Dr. No.
But Goldfinger is really the best Bond movie, just overall.
Yes, I agree.
Not to be confused with that shitty movie Goldmember.
GoldenEye.
Crikey!
No, GoldenEye was a Bond movie that was also just an awful movie. Sure. Hi, fat baby. Want to hang out with your mama?
Oh yeah, is
I
Emperor Baby
also
there?
exist.
Emperor Baby.
Yes, he's here, all annoyed because his father just handed him to me so he could do something, and he's like, "What do you want, lady? I'm not hungry."
Emperor Baby.
Diz has asked a couple of times if we've heard of the Friday game. I have not.
The Friday game? No,
Yeah.
I've heard of Funny Games, and that was a very, very creepy, scary Dutch film that they remade into a really crappy American remake of it. But that's different.
Oh my gosh. Oh crap! I just totally lost my thought. Damn it, Mara! You're so distracting.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service is not awful. It's actually pretty good because Telly Savalas is in it, for God's sakes. Also, do you guys know the name of the guy who played Bond in Her Majesty's Secret Service? The only actor, save for maybe David Niven back in the old Casino Royale, who played Bond only one time.
No.
Nope.
I do, but I can't think of it.
George Lazenby. And he was actually, George Lazenby. And it was like, it's a really weird movie because it's like the one that doesn't have a Roger Moore or a Sean Connery in it, but it's not that bad, actually.
I'm a much bigger fan of Johnny English than James Bond.
Johnny English is
Mr.
awesome.
Bean is great. Mr. Bean is so good. Rowan Atkinson, Blackadder, probably one of the best comedy shows BBC ever put out, or British television ever put out, next to Red Dwarf, maybe.
I never really watched Blackadder that much.
Oh, it's so good.
I watched Black Books.
Oh, sure you did.
I like Dylan Moran.
We were
Bill
asked
Bailey.
our favorite Planet of the Apes movie.
Oh, goodness.
I've never seen them.
The most recent one, not the one that's coming out, but if you watch that movie, it's actually a really excellent movie. I mean, putting aside, you don't even notice the CGI after a little while. Matt Reeves, who directed that, he did a great job. I was really surprised because when I started watching, I thought this is going to be kind of cheese, but no, it's It's emotional. It's a really good story. They really get it across. The only weak
Is
point is
that the one with Mark Wahlberg in it?
No.
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 Oh,
There's
okay.
No. I'm not talking about the Tim Burton one. No, God, no. This
Sorry,
is
geez.
no. It's not against you. No. It's just that
Snob.
I think back to that movie and I think, oh my God, PTSD. No.
I guess for me it'd be the original, just
Me too.
because of nostalgia, and I remember seeing it at the drive-in
Talkies.
when it first came out. Yeah, at the
Yeah,
Talkies.
that's true. Yeah, I guess the original.
You
Base
damn
Mama.
dirty ape.
You were asked your favorite Godfather 1, 2, or 3.
Movie or book? Because all of the books are really good.
They didn't specify, and we've been talking movies, so I'm guessing movies.
Oh, then part 2.
2 was such a great movie, it really was. But for me, it's still the original one. The first one is my favorite.
Now you just have to put
Well,
one.
you can't have the second one without the first one. But the second one is where he kisses Fredo, and then it was just so fucked up. It was just so fucked up, and that's why I liked it. Is because he went like full mobster.
I like any movie where a woman gets beaten with a belt horribly.
Oh, then you need
know
to
what?
see. Oh.
I'm kidding.
She's a terrible actress, and she
Yes.
deserved it. There you
She
go.
is.
If you're really serious about
Diane Keaton.
if you're really serious about that, then you should see The Killer Inside Me with Casey Affleck.
And Diane Keaton's not the one that gets beat with a belt. It's Talia Shire.
Dolly Shire, yeah.
Oh,
How is her name?
yeah. She was
Her
annoying
husband
anyway.
beats the fuck out of her to
Yeah, Bruno, or whatever the fuck his name
set
is.
up
Richie.
Sonny.
Oh yeah. So he can
Red,
They
you
can,
are such a tease.
Bonnie and
God.
Clyde him later.
Oh,
Hey,
Jesus.
I'm having a super chat, super stream when I get my streaming back because I'm trying to raise money to pay for this shit I need. But before I do that, because that's all the way in May, it's not my fucking birthday. Stop saying happy birthday. My chat is bastards. Okay, they're all bastards. Because I said I was going to do a birthday stream when it was my birthday, but I didn't specify that. And so every time I stream, they fucking spam me with happy birthday, mama. I'm like, leave me alone. Because then when it's my birthday, nobody's going to believe it and they won't say happy birthday and I'll feel bad. But anyway, I'm trying to send Failure Accomplished to VidCon because he lost his job and he knows everybody and he wants to build his channel because the job market's kind of shitty right now. You assholes, fuck you guys. Anyway, they're in the chat going, happy birthday. Buttholes. Anyway, so I want to try to get some people together. So I'm hitting you guys up officially right now. I'm going to hit up Chris Reagan. I'm going to hit up Rucka, Jeff, everybody I can, because the ticket to and from is less than $400 in the middle of high season. So it's a really good deal if I can get it in the next 2 weeks.
What happened to your streaming?
Mycroft got me 5. I thought it was 4, but it was 5 copyright strikes in the same live stream within like 7 minutes.
Damn.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I contested it and they were like, with that many claims, fuck you. So I have to just wait my 90 days. I'm like in detention or whatever. I'm suspended. So it's a drag, but without being able to stream for myself, I can't do anything. So I'm getting really frustrated to not be able to help him. So what I want to do is do like a GoFundMe, send Failure to VidCon, because everybody, if he invites you into a stream, like he just drops you a Hangout link, chances are there's somebody there that you want to know or you've just always wanted to talk to. So I want to try to bounce him up a lot if we can. So, and also officially ask my favorite monkey, my internet dad and my baby daddy, if you guys will be on my first birthday stream.
What day is this?
Presumably May the 19th.
I should be able to, yes.
It's
Remind me,
a
and
Friday.
I'll absolutely stop by.
What time will it be, Monk?
It'll probably be about 4 in the afternoon my time, so it's 5, 6, 7 East Coast time.
You know what day of the week that is?
Friday.
Friday?
always
I
funny, but
will try. It depends on whether or not my daughter works that day or not. If she does, I'll have to babysit.
okay,
And,
I'll take chat cancer from you. I love you.
and nobody wants to hear my four brats yelling in the background. Trust me.
Better Red
I
just let
like
us know that SDA has landed safely.
Yay!
Don't
Oh,
forget to go
good.
watch her tomorrow.
Are they going to be streaming that, I assume?
Yes, I will try to remember to put the link back in.
Oh, yeah.
We linked it somewhere, and I don't remember where, but
Is
yeah,
there going to be a chat with the stream they do? That'd be the biggest cancer chat ever.
so fun. I'm going to go there and just talk about my dick the whole time. For those of you who don't know, I now have to talk about my dick at least once per stream.
Oh, is that like a rule now?
It is. Somebody got pissed off because I talk about my body too much.
Oh, that's right.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about my dick. There we go.
Yay!
Yeah, I'll
Don't
stop by your
touch
birthday
my-
stream,
Sweet.
but you'll have to remind me because my memory is shit, and I won't remember tomorrow that I said that.
I will. You're still taking Neurontin, right?
No, well, I'm on gabapentin, which is the same basic thing.
Oh God, I hate gabapentin. It is. But I didn't send you that list of shit that I take. Did I?
No.
It will super help you, but see, here's the problem with having to take gabapentin. It makes you retarded.
Well, I actually went to a pain clinic the other day and got shots in my back, which was fucking horrible. And those aren't helping any more than the gabapentin or anything else has. So.
Yeah, they do
I'm willing to-
Botox sometimes. So I'm just as a heads up, because it will, it'll limit the nerve reception. So, but it will also make it so that you can't like turn your head and stuff. One of the guys at my pain clinic he broke one of the vertebrae, and it's still like all fucked up from Iraq. So he has to get Botox in his neck, and he's looking straight forward. He said it's kind of like wearing a neck brace because you can't really feel to turn your head.
Mm-hmm.
So you get like super nervous about it. It's like you just turn your whole body. Which I'm sorry. I feel bad for you because I know that your condition's actually worse than mine.
Shit, life goes on. Serenity Lotus asked a question of me and Scribe, and I can actually answer that for you for Scribe. Favorite film was Sean Connery, whether it's the lead or supporting role. For Scribe, that's going to be The Hunt for Red October.
You're damn right.
Excellent film.
For me, oh wow. Kevin Costner's version of Robin Hood.
He showed up for like 3 seconds at the end.
It said supporting.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay.
No, actually, I'd have to go with Hunt for Red October. It's a great movie.
Yeah, that's right.
I love Hunt for Red October. I didn't watch it until like last year, and I was surprised at one, how well it holds up over time, especially if you remember the 80s, and two, how incredibly good it is. Like you really get into the film and you completely forget everything. I love when they make it really easy for you to suspend disbelief.
It's one of those movies that if you read the book, you might as well be reading the movie's script because for the most part, there's a couple of subplots that are removed, obviously. The book is the movie for the most part. There's only one fatal plot flaw about the movie that I don't understand why they didn't add it. It's such a simple thing. Like, why was Ramius defecting? They never give the reason in the movie. They hint at it, but then they stop short. And the reason was, so in the movie they say, this is the anniversary of his wife's death.
Mm-hmm.
Now, his wife's death is the reason he's defecting, but in the movie they don't say why it is. What happened is that he was a loyal Russian, Navy captain and all this other stuff, and his wife was the love of his life, and then she got sick and had to go have surgery for something that was relatively routine. I forget what it was. And she died on the operating table because the surgeon was drunk. But since the surgeon was the son of a member of the Politburo, nothing happened to him. And so as a consequence, Ramius became disenchanted with the Soviet Union, his government, and that's why he decided to defect. Why they didn't add that somewhere into the movie, it would have taken an extra like 10 seconds. I don't know, but that was the one weak point in the movie's plot line is Ramius's motivation.
Serenity's got all the good questions tonight. Favorite movie based on a real life war?
Star Wars.
You asshole.
Glory.
Oh yeah.
That's
Glory
like
was
the
so
only the only Matthew Broderick movie besides like Ferris Bueller that I really, really liked.
Full Metal
He actually
Jacket
impressed me.
and Downfall. Downfall being the movie about the last days in Berlin of Hitler and his
Oh, that's a
bunker and
good one,
everything.
too.
Yeah, Downfall and Full Metal Jacket probably my top war movies.
You know what's a surprisingly good war movie that you wouldn't think is? I can't remember his name. You guys are gonna kill me, especially you, Scribe. The guy who played Joey in Friends.
Matt LeBlanc.
Thank you. He did a movie with Eddie Izzard called All the King's Men or All the Queen's Men.
Okay, I gotta look this up.
It was about World War II, and they were supposed to go in drag to work at a factory in Berlin at the Enigma factory, and they were supposed to steal an Enigma. But the whole idea is that they sent them there to fail, because they already had one. So they sent them there to basically, fake trying to get one and fail so that the Germans wouldn't know they already had the Enigma. So it was really like surprisingly good. I really didn't know Matt LeBlanc had that in him, but also I have a massive crush on Eddie Izzard. Well, I did until like this year.
Oh.
Now I'm like, shut up, Grandma.
So it was made on a budget of $15 million, but earned only $23,662, yielding an approximate minus 99.92% return on investment.
Dude, it made me cry. It was such a good movie. Like, it was a fantastic film. But the best moment in it is, so weirdly, Eddie Izzard is all in drag in the middle of a dance hall full of fucking Nazis. And the only, like, he kind of knows, like, high school level German. And he doesn't, like, they want him to sing because they think he's a performer, and he doesn't know anything in German except the Deutschland über alle. So he just sings that. It's really fucking funny. It's like the best, the best theme.
Ogre of Force, yeah, we're talking about movies today because we haven't done it for a while, and SDA is not here, so we're going geek for a little while. I have a lot of favorite war movie films that are based on them. Like, I love The Patriot. I thought it was great.
Oh, God.
I haven't seen that.
Platoon was a good movie.
Yes.
But for me, my favorite war movie, and it's incredibly hard to watch, is Das Boot. And not because you have to read subtitles.
You're absolutely right. I forgot about Das Boot. Why could I do that? Yeah.
That was Alexander Skarsgård's first movie, by the way.
That will wear you out. By the end of it, you will be just so worn out. But it is such a great movie.
Tension, claustrophobia. I don't know why I didn't say that when the question was asked. Yeah, Das Boot is probably one of the best war movies ever made, bar none.
Yeah.
I remember.
Randy Lotus wants to know what my favorite Marlon Brando, not including Godfather. Last Tango in Paris. No, not really.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. Oh.
Apocalypse Now, yo.
Yeah, Streetcar Named Desire.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Mara's asking, have we seen any Australian movies? Yes, I've seen several Australian movies. Crikey.
Max.
Yeah, no, we not except Mad Max.
Children was really good. Of course, A Year of Living Dangerously is one of my favorites.
Undead, which is like this low-budget Australian zombie movie, was I found it very entertaining, even though it's really off the wall.
You know what? The guy, God, Ryan Quanton, that's his name. He was in True Blood. I talk about this all the time because I'm Southern and we have like very specific like accents for different regions. Like Bloodwing knows what I'm talking about. You can totally tell he's from Kentucky. We have like really specific accents, and he is fucking Australian, and I didn't know. The whole time True Blood was on, I had no idea. Because he never once, like everybody else on that show, dropped their accents left and right, and it was so annoying. It almost made it unbearable. But when my aunt told me that he was Australian, I thought it was, I was like, you're so full of shit. And we argued for hours and IMDb'd it, and then I felt like an asshole. Because he not for one fucking second did he drop that accent. I was like, that's really, really impressive. Like, it's really hard to do an accent. It really is.
Yeah, he did I saw him in an Australian movie where he was, I believe, a deputy sheriff in a small town, and some guy came back to town after either escaping from prison
Wolf
or
Creek.
no, it wasn't Wolf Creek. I think it was like Red Hills or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen it too. I just can't remember the name.
Yeah, but anyway, it was really good, and yeah, it was.
IMDb him now.
Yeah, either way. Somebody asked if I'd seen Gettysburg and Gods and Generals. I own a dual disc thing of both those movies, and they are excellent, excellent films. Really long. They are exceedingly detailed historically, with like much of the dialogue coming out of letters of the actual people involved. Jeff Daniels playing, I believe it was Chamberlain. Some of these you had.
Oh my God.
God, who played Robert E. Lee in that? I'm suddenly forgetting. Shit, it's right on the tip of my tongue. He's a very famous actor. Robert Duvall playing Robert E. Lee in that was great. He had to replace
yeah.
Martin Sheen from Gettysburg. Gods and Generals is harder to watch because it's really, really long. And there was supposed to be a third one to sort of wrap up everything. But apparently, since Gods and Generals was kind of a bomb, that didn't happen.
Corey asked about Pacific and Band of Brothers. Not movies, but Band of Brothers was fucking excellent.
Yes, Band of Brothers is great. Oh my God, so good.
Oh,
I haven't seen it. It's really hard to live with somebody who spent like 3.5 years in Afghanistan because they've already seen all this stuff, and then it's not fun to watch it together.
You watch Band of Brothers. It is so fucking good.
Yeah, it's excellent. Absolutely excellent. Every piece of that thing, especially the fact that they interlace interviews with the actual people.
Yes.
Who are still alive from that particular company and everything, and it's just, and especially and the supplementary. If you find the DVD box set or can find those, the supplementary material on just all that is just absolutely amazing, incredible.
Oh my God, now it's gonna bug me forever. Sorry, Mara's gonna have to tell me. There's a I was trying to look it up. There's I don't know. It's like a soap opera about these two sisters that. Like their dad dies and they own a sheep farm or some shit in Australia. Like, help me out.
Better Red was never a prepubescent. She was just born fully woman.
There you go.
From what I know, I would believe that.
Yeah.
Better Red is awesome. I haven't said that yet today.
Yeah, Priscilla was awesome. That was such a good movie. Although the stripper chick popping ping pong balls out of her hooch was like, holy shit, this is way too grown up for me.
Best Willem Dafoe flick.
Oh.
Now, what was the one where he was Jesus? The Last Temptation of Christ.
Right.
That's the only one I can think of as him in a lead role. So I would have to go with him in a supporting role. So either Platoon or I have a soft spot for the Boondock
Saints. Yeah. He did one just a few years ago. I think it was called, I believe it was just called The Hunter. I'm going to have to look real quick and look this up to make sure I'm not completely off my rocker.
Oh, you know what we're forgetting?
What's
Spider-Man.
No.
The first Spider-Man.
Wait, are you thinking of Deer Hunter, Scribe?
No, not the Deer Hunter. No, this was something relatively recent where he was hunting like a endangered species thing, and this was just a couple of years ago. Let me see if I can find it.
Better Red, you're correct. Mississippi Burning, absolutely an excellent movie.
Oh yes, that is
Yeah.
Oh yes, it was called 2011. It was called The Hunter, and it is a Willem Dafoe thing. He's this he's a professional hitman who is hired to hunt down the world's only remaining thylacine, which is like this super rare animal. And I was really impressed. I mean, it's a very quiet movie for all things considered, but it was really good, and Willem Dafoe did an excellent job.
I have never, the only one I've ever seen is Spider-Man. I've never seen him in anything else. Isn't that sad? Ouch.
You need
Sorry,
to watch more movies.
I have the main street fucking drag strip over here.
I was about to say that sounded like a transformer transforming in the background.
No, it's all the shitheads with their ugly fucking Hondas that they fix up and put glass packs on. That doesn't make them any faster, but it's just really loud.
We have favorite Al Pacino and favorite Robin Williams movies. And Al Pacino cannot be one of the Godfather ones.
Oh,
I really
Um,
liked him in Sense of Human.
I can actually put them together in one film, I think, but I cannot remember the name of it. Where they were up in Alaska, where the sun doesn't go down. And
Insomnia.
Yep.
Not the that's a remake. The original with Stellan Skarsgård is a zillion times better and much more noir.
Oh my god, I love Stellan Skarsgård.
Robin Williams movie, probably 1 hour photo, just because of the heel turn he does becoming the villain, and the way he did that just makes it so much creepier. For Al Pacino, probably Dog Day Afternoon.
For me, with Robin Williams, we get asked this a lot, and I've probably changed my answer before, but the Dead Poet Society. And again, that's a personal thing because of things that were going on in my life at the time.
Yeah. Scribe, have you seen Beliebo? I have not, so I'll have to look it up. Oh, Dead Poet Society, yeah. Fisher King, you know what? Fisher King, yeah, that is, it's on par, I'd say, with 1 hour photo. 1 hour photo is just so driven by Williams' performance that that's my favorite, but Fisher King is an excellent movie. Terry Gilliam, and Brazil, Time Bandits, Fisher King, Baron Munchausen. Baron Munchausen is one of my favorite movies too.
Me too, but I actually really liked him at Night at the Museum. I thought he did a really, really, really good Teddy Roosevelt. I don't know why, but he took that shit and made it his, and I like that a lot.
Jumanji made me think of Jumanji when you said it. I totally forgot about that.
Awesome.
That's being remade right now with The Rock. Ugh.
Oh, god dang.
What?
No, I'm not even kidding. It's like it's already in post. If it's not in post production, it's getting ready to be released, I think, in the next month or two.
Come up with something original, Hollywood. Come on.
For real. Like, my 10-year-old writes awesome stories. I could totally, like, he's working on a series right now about a brother and sister who they're like digging in the park or something, and they find the bones of a bird, but it has a message, and if you read the message, it gives you magical powers over like the unseen universe. It's really actually a very fucking cool story. I hope they flesh it out, and my daughter's doing the illustrations for it. So there you go, Hollywood. Come talk to me. Let's do this shit so we can stop remaking stuff.
Now they're just throwing names at us. So before we get to that, somebody asked you what you thought of Major League 1 and 2. By the way, there is a Major League 3.
Yeah, unfortunately. The first one was great. The second one was not awful, but you can't really recreate that kind of magic the second time, just like with so many of those kind of movies. So one was really good. Second was
The only good thing about 2 is that they finally included the line that had been in the trailer in all of the trailers for the first movie, where he says that ball wouldn't have been out of a lot of parks. Yeah, name one, and he says Yellowstone. That was in all of the trailers for the first movie and make the cut.
Somebody
so
said favorite Tommy Lee Jones movie. Well, if we're just talking like he is in the movie, probably No Country for Old Men.
Men in Black.
Yeah,
I love Men in Black.
They're doing another one of those too with it's 21 Jump Street and Men in Black together.
Oh,
I'm not even kidding. They're combining those two movies together and having the actors from both movies into one adventure.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's time to just nuke Hollywood, stop bombing Syria, bomb Hollywood, and let's just restart all that. Favorite Mel Gibson movie besides Braveheart? Oh God.
Ransom.
Lethal Weapon.
Payback.
Or, well, actually, Road Warrior.
I was going to say the original Road Warrior. Yeah.
I loved him in Payback. He was so fucking funny.
Payback was good. Have you seen the director's cut, Mama?
No, I haven't. I should though. Huh?
Yeah.
Is
So
it
there's
better?
yes. Well, it's much different. So Payback, as we know it, is kind of a really dark comedy. Payback, the director's cut, which I believe is called the straight up cut. I think I own a copy of it. A lot is different in some plot points, and it's much, much darker, grittier, and depressing. Which is it's much more noir. It's a very different movie. It's an interesting take on it. So if you have a chance to find it or see it, take a look. I can see why they did what they did in the final cut for the theatrical release, but I don't think the original was actually all that bad.
I'll have to check it out.
Scribe, Sandlot question mark. If anybody doesn't like Sandlot,
Yeah,
they actually are commies and need to go away.
pretty much. Yeah, The Sandlot was
Die
great.
commie scum.
It's one of those rare instances where you have a cast of children who all are good actors for the roles they're given. I mean, so it's sort of like Stranger Things, sort of kismet, the way
Monkey.
they got those kids to work.
Monkey bombing Hollywood is anti-Semitic.
Yeah, monkey.
Grandpa.
Oh, fuck,
Jeez, what's wrong with you?
man. Yeah, Sandlot was very much like Goonies. It was.
Yes, very
I would
much.
actually call it that generation's Goonies.
Yeah,
just
that's
such
a
a
good
good
one.
movie.
Yeah,
And
my
I-
kids' generation's Goonies is Earth to Echo.
The hell is that?
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
God,
Earth to
it's
Echo.
so cool. Like, well, that's coming back. That's what you reminded me of. Sorry, that whole like, remember the '80s when you like Goonies and Sandlot and Earth to Echo? It's that kids running off to like go do kid shit and like they're solving problems and having adventures without their fucking parents there. Like that
Yeah,
used
but
to be a
these
thing. Like
days-
kids used to do that.
These days, they would just look at their phones.
Exactly. And but it's coming back. Like that's what's so cool about it is that genre, like Stranger Things, for us, that's a throwback, right? To movies from when we were kids, where you had like this crazy thing going on and the kids were like the problem solvers and the parents were sort of in the periphery of their story.
Mhm.
That genre of kid adventures is actually starting to come back because like my generation is kicking their kids out, like go play, go be imaginative, because Jordan Peterson was talking about on when some black guy interviewed him about how kids were insulated and they didn't have free play and they didn't have imagination play, so they have this hyper arrested development that causes them to be retarded like they are.
Jeez.
Shit, you know they are. Like I'm
Well
gonna,
played, yeah.
I'm dragonkin. Like that would just be us pretending we were dragons when we were kids, you know. But they never get to pretend. They never get that like inventive play that's so necessary to their, you know, concept of self and reality and stuff. So they never really, they never have the break between imagination and real life. So they just want to be something different. But so that imaginative play genre is coming back, and like you can hear it. Like the park is right behind my house. There's like 100 kids there right now. Because it's like, why not? But it's I don't care who's live right now. I'm on this stream. If you want to go watch that stream, go watch that stream. Sorry. It's becoming like popular because there's all these papers now about how kids aren't getting out and they're not having imaginative play and they're not doing all of this stuff. So it's really cool to see people try to like unhook their kids from their very privileged, spoiled lives, you know, to get them out to go play, to do the shit that we did. And it's really fun. Like, I think it's great, honestly, that kids are like, people are unfreaking out from the somebody's gonna snatch my baby shit, you know? Because
Well, we've discussed
what
that
year was
before.
that?
That whole thing was overblown to begin with.
I don't
the-
remember what year it was, but I was a little kid and I remember I could run around all over the fucking place and nobody gave a shit. And then all of a sudden, we couldn't go anywhere. My mom had to be able to see us. If she yelled for us and we didn't answer, she was freaking out, and it was nuts, man.
I very vividly remember my mother telling me to get the hell out of the house. Go play.
Oh, yeah.
And not go play in some fenced-in yard. Just go. Yeah. Scribe, I'm actually interested in your answer for this one. Your favorite noir film?
Noir.
Yeah. Fuck
So,
you.
well,
Don't make fun of my accent.
I like pronouncing words correctly. What can I tell you?
Go fuck yourself.
I understand. I understand your standards are fairly low.
They are. I
let's
have you on my
see.
stream.
Oh,
Shots
I
fired.
opened the door to that one.
Yes, you did.
I deserve that. Favorite noir film of all time, if we're not talking like era or something, is probably The Third Man. The build up to Harry Lime appearing, which is Orson Welles' character. because they mention him all over the place, and they intimate as to who he is and what he is and everything else. And then when he arrives, I mean, the shot is just steady, and you see him from like half a mile away, and the camera doesn't move, and it's just the music and him walking towards our hero, and he slowly sort of emerges from the distance into focus. And it's just such a great flick. It's got this great setting where it's like right after World War II, and you've got 3 countries sort of having territorial fights over Vienna, and everything about that movie is excellent. So yeah, Third Man.
Chinatown.
Chinatown is up there. Have you seen The Third Man?
I haven't, so that
Okay.
may replace it someday. But
Yeah, if you have
for
a
me,
chance,
it's Chinatown.
if you have a chance, find the Criterion version of the Third Man that's been all cleaned up and everything. It's amazing.
What was the sequel to Chinaman or Chinatown? The Two Jakes.
The Two Jakes.
Yeah.
The Two Jakes was it was all right. There was
It was
supposed
a crappy
to
movie.
it was a crappy movie. It was supposed to be a trilogy. They were thinking about making another one after that. I forget what it was supposed to be called, but since the Two Jakes did so badly, yeah. But yeah, Chinatown is that's right up there as one of the most excellent noir films.
I actually saw the Two Jakes first.
Oh, I'm
And-
sorry.
Yeah, it was so bad, and everybody told me, "Well, it's a sequel to this really great movie." So I went and watched it. I'm like, "How the fuck did you take this story and fuck it up like that? Make it so bad, so uninteresting."
Yeah.
Mine would probably be Maltese Falcon, although you could argue whether or not that was noir or not. But
No, yeah, it's hard-boiled detective stuff. That's Dashiell Hammett kind of stuff. That's
Absolutely,
fine.
yeah. Excellent movie. Okay, okay, I'm running out of gas here, guys.
Yeah, I am too.
Let's get off movie questions. I'll give you 10 more minutes to ask questions or ask us to talk about anything, and then we're going to wrap this one up.
I gotta run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Can't sing a love song in German without scaring children. Here's a really great, a little Walmart story for you. We had this really old guy who was one of our door greeters. And when little kids would piss him off, he would yell at them in German. And it was really fucking scary to everybody. One, we didn't know what he was saying. And German just sounds mean even when it's being nice. What is your favorite movie that involved fascist Italy? Wow. Nope. I don't know. I didn't know there were movies. I don't know. Yeah, you got me.
It's not a movie, but Dwight's speech from The Office.
There you go.
That
I
was
miss
the
The
best.
Office.
That was I do too. That was the best episode.
I never thought The Office was all that funny, but I still loved the show. It was just such a fun show to watch.
I don't know. I worked in an office, and everybody that I worked with was like Angela.
Oh, nice.
So it's like, holy shit, I want to kill myself. Like, I hate this fucking place so much. But you gotta eat. So.
Oh, you know what? Technically, I would say Das Boot counts as the fascist Italy movie.
I'm back.
Yep.
It was World War II.
I had a completely off-topic question real quick for the people who are better at YouTubing than I am. If I link my main channel to my other channel, does that allow my other channel to do live streams?
No.
No.
Okay.
You got to build it up to 1,000 people again.
Or 100 people.
Or 100 or whatever it is.
Yeah, because I've seen channels that have far less than 100 people being able to do live streams or things that are beyond 15 minutes at a length deal. So I don't know how that works.
I've got a
I'm not
second
sure how
channel. I'd have to check it, but I think I can live stream on my second channel, and I don't have 100 subs on it.
When I set up my second one, I couldn't. So maybe it's something that's changed, or I was doing something wrong.
Okay, I was just curious.
Somebody asked if we had any thoughts on the YouTube demonetization thing that we wanted to share. Yeah, sure. I don't like what YouTube's doing. I understand why they're doing it. I think the advertiser boycott is a bunch of shit, and I think it's going to blow over rather quickly, especially now that Trump has changed the headlines. It's not as interesting a story for the Wall Street Journal as it was a week ago. But as far as YouTube itself, I think a lot of people are way overstating the importance of who they're quote unquote targeting with this. to be more advertiser friendly in the short term, they're going to be hitting everybody who talks about the stream last night got hit immediately. My video started out demonetized, the one that I made last night. I don't think anybody hit me because I usually make anti-SJW content. It's because I was making a video about a bombing.
Well,
So
yeah, and also you got to remember that everybody's playing hard for what advertisers there are right now. More will come back, but those who wanted to get out of their contract with YouTube, they're not going to come back. VidMe now offers monetization, BT dubs, but it's there was a bunch of people on a stream earlier that I managed to weasel my way into with Chris Raygun and all of them. And they were talking about it, and what they noticed is that they will monetize everything, but ads will only run on 1 or 2 videos in a month. And it's just competition. So the bigger you are, the more ads will run on your channel. But if you're really small, then it's going to be hit or miss. It really depends.
Well, advertisers are going to come back, even with other platforms becoming monetized. YouTube is still the big platform, and I don't see anything that's going to change that anytime soon.
No, they're going to use this to leverage cheaper prices out of YouTube for ad buys. Is really what it's going to come down to, because channels on YouTube get more views, more traffic than CNN and big actual channels do. There's no way they're going to avoid this amount of eyeballs on any particular moment of the day for much longer. As soon as they can get a better deal out of YouTube, or as soon as they can be given some kind of control over, or shown proof that my ads are not going to appear on white supremacist blah blah blah, they'll be back in droves.
Skaggles the Squirrel said he just hit 300 subs. Congratulations!
Congratulations! Somebody asked a question. Shit, I missed it. Let me go back.
What'd they ask?
It was really cool. It was actually a really good question. Okay, Scribe, Monkey, Bloodwing, Mama. Could the 4 of you last 1 month in a zombie apocalypse movie scenario?
I'm a redneck. Of course I can.
Well, are we talking slow zombies or fast zombies?
Yeah, that really depends.
That really makes a difference, because if it's slow zombies, yes. If it's fast zombies, maybe not.
Yeah,
if it's like 28 days zombies, maybe not. But if it's like Walking Dead zombies, no problem.
Yeah, are we talking Night of the Living Dead or 28 days later? We need that clarification first.
Yeah, I seriously doubt I could outrun Monkey. So
I could blend in with the slow-moving zombies. That would be the only way I could live.
You know what I never understood about all these zombie flicks and shit? They have all these like weapons and like crazy shit, and nobody ever gets a flamethrower. Like, you could get a horde and just burn them all, like, when they're done. I never understood. I'm just confused by that.
There's the greatest part. There's this book called The Zombie Survival Guide, which a lot of people know, by Max Brooks, who went on to write World War Z, the book anyway. And there's this great part in that book where they make an observation that I'd never really thought of before. If you were trying to avoid zombies invading your home, chop up your stairs.
Yeah, no shit.
Because they can't climb stairs. If there's no staircase, the slow zombies they don't know where to go. They just stop having a pathway, and so that's it. Of course, you isolate yourself on the roof, but if you've supplied yourself and there's no way for them to get up there, then you're pretty much safe. While we're talking about books real quick, I just had to mention something I just read that really encapsulates why the Hugo Awards are shit now. The headline, this is on io9.com. I still go to io9.com even though they are part of the Fusion Jezebel network and everything, because occasionally they do have scoops on sci-fi and nerd stuff. But anyway, the headline is, meet the Hugo-nominated author of Alien Stripper Boned from Behind by the T-Rex.
I'm sorry, what?
The title of the book is Alien Stripper Boned from Behind by the T-Rex. It is a self-published book. It's not literature of any stripe, but this is a Hugo-nominated work of fiction. And the name of the author, the pen name of the author, is Stix, S-T-I-X, Hiscock. HISCOCK.
Oh,
And this is oh, and of course they very underline. So just so you know, it's a woman. Like I don't give a
Of course
shit.
it is.
This doesn't matter. This is bullshit. Why the fuck is this getting nominated for a Hugo Award? The Hugo Awards mean nothing now. Anyway, moving on.
You don't like sad puppies?
Oh God, that deserves its own documentary somewhere. If somebody hasn't already done a documentary on the whole sad puppy saga, I'd love to see one made.
Fucking garbage.
Anyway, anything else come up on the chatty chat?
Nope. This is last call, guys. Anything?
One more
Anything?
question. Make it good. Will I star in a porno? No. Why would I do that? Look, if I
Money.
got real desperate, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I'd have to be like on the verge of homeless.
Just a plug, I'm probably going to have a video on my second channel out maybe tomorrow. I'm planning on. I might have to actually mark it as a mature video, not because of anything visual, but the subject matter I'm going to read off might be. I'd probably put it in territory that I wouldn't want like little kids automatically watching it, even though little kids can get around the 18-year-old thing real quick. But whatever.
Ford or Pepsi?
What to drink?
Oh, Ken.
Which is worse for your body?
Oh, wow. Depends which Ford, I guess.
Hey, Red. Let's talk. You're on Twitter now. Just send me some pictures on spec. We'll see.
For the money. Baby needs a new pair of shoes.
I don't know. Would anybody actually pay money to see? Well, maybe. Actually, I know a couple people who. Well, you don't even know what I look like.
I don't care.
Donald Hump has
You got
a
that
hard on
sexy
for you,
voice.
dude.
Yeah, Donald Hump. Yeah, he's sort of like N. Yeah, actually, where is N? We haven't seen N in quite a
I haven't
while.
seen- No, Ann was here like 2 days ago.
Well, I mean, still, that's quite a while since we do this every day. You know.
Oh, true. Okay, the last thing I saw that I'm going to comment on is somebody asked what we think of Minds.com. I think Minds is a great concept, but
Work in progress.
I can see it becoming a just wasteland because of the way it works.
Yeah.
I like it. I hope it does very well. I use it. You guys can follow me on Minds.com. It's linked on all my videos except for the live streams.
Me too.
But if anybody else wants to say anything.
I like Minds. It's got some work to go. No doubt about it. It's got some work to be done, but I hope it survives. I like it.
Yeah, it's depending on what they decide to do to try to. I mean, it's still confusing. Stuff shows up in my feed that I never subscribed to. Videos take are touch and go with uploading directly to Minds. It's still a little messy in the navigation of it. If they tighten that up and they really do stick to the anything goes short of the most illegal stuff you can think of, then maybe. But I think ultimately, if it gets big enough and successful enough, it'll start running into the same problems that YouTube is now. If they really want to get advertisers and everything else, there's going to be standards have to be set and compromises made. I really don't see how any of this goes the utopian ideal short of there being a platform that is effectively a public utility. And I don't know if and when we'll ever see that, or something that is so like some Microsoft billionaire just decides to go all charity on something and just just serve something up. Here you go. So for now, it's a great alternative. I hope, like I say, I hope it does well. If they start monetizing on there, that's less complicated than YouTube, I'll give it a shot. But until then, yeah, it's a nice little extra place to put stuff in, put backups of my videos that I think might get taken down otherwise.
Oh, right. And for those of you who've tried Minds before, especially on your phones and didn't like it, they did recently update and it is a lot easier to use.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because my tablet.
Yeah,
It's
so if you don't
basically
have
being
the
on the site.
just uninstall and reinstall it, and it's awesome. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
Mine's
the old one
is-
was shit.
Yeah, well, it's open source, so if anybody has
Right.
like a good patch to make it better, or more updates or whatever, you can always just write code and make it better. The TOS is kind of garbage, but at the same time, you have to work within the law. So
Yeah.
like because like some states have anti-cyberbullying shit for whatever retarded reason. I'm like, log out and go, like leave the fucking computer, and like you're not chained there, but whatever. So like you have states where you have to have that in your TOS in order to operate. Like that's what Bill is saying. It's like, so you have to be legally compliant, and you have to, like, if you're running a site like that, like Facebook has got it down because they have literally lawyers out the ass. So they can operate in every state, and they have lawyers who can help them navigate what's legal, what's not legal, shit like that. But mine doesn't really have that because it's small. I wouldn't give up on them because we've been shopping around the idea of like a free speech platform, where you're not censored no matter what. And it's really popular. Like, actually, there's a lot of people that want to invest in it. And the reason that Bill is so, he's reticent to take on investors because he doesn't want them to start getting in there and saying you have to do this and you have to do that and stuff like that. And that's why he's trying to make it so that, if he does take investors, they don't say anything. They can't, like, they're what do you call it, silent partners. Or yeah. So, and that's hard to work out with people that have big money and they want to put in, they want to have something to say, or they want to promote their shit or whatever, and that's where he's really reticent. Like they have monetization. So like one of the things that he suggested, if you have like a grown up people's live stream, is to put it behind a paywall and like have $1 buy-in for your live stream. So that way you can confirm that whoever is watching it is 18 and over. But they're working on stream hosting on Minds. Like that's their big thing right now, is to get it so that you can stream directly on Minds. So that's going to be pretty cool. I would rather do that because honestly, there are people on Minds that are fucking hilarious and they're fun to fuck with. Like I'll have to find her again. There's a chick who's a ecosexual or whatever. Earth lovers, like very literally.
Oh, like the one that Andy made a video about. The video where Andy fucks a tree, Andy Worski.
Yeah.
There's a chick on there that's like fully into it, and I thought it's definitely a Poe, right? Because she's like so nuts about it. No, she's totally serious, and she's super sensitive, so I like to go mess with her.
Nice.
On there, by the way.
Okay.
I have a sock on Twitter too, so always back up with a sock. Just saying.
We're gonna end on Mama fucking with people.
That's what Twitter is for, man.
Chad, thank you guys for coming and putting up with me and Scribe talking about movies. I know that irritates some of you, but we don't do it that often, so fuck off. But I love you guys. Thank you for coming. Base Mama, Blood, thank you guys for coming and joining us tonight. Scribe, thank you as always. Guys, your life makes me sad. I will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.